What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the cast right here at Celestia Radio. It is your host, Matthias, here as usual with my co-hosts, Dalit and Nat. And today is a day, just any other day.
Hi, everyone.
Happy birthday from all of us to you. We wish you a happy birthday so we can have cake too. Hey!
Happy birthday, Matt.
Okay. Yeah, it's my birthday. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Cake sounds good. But in theme to this episode, we're going to roast me, sort of. Because what better thing to do for my birthday episode than to just put the spotlight on me and have my friends judge me?
Oh, we'll be judging.
Or in this case, they're going to be judging my Steam wishlist. Because they love to point out to me how ridiculous it is, the number of games I have on my Steam wishlist.
Yeah, this motherfucker has like over 280 games, something like that.
I have over 300 games on my Steam
wishlist.
I went through a period of about a year and a half, 2 years, where I wasn't able to pick up new games as they came out. And so I would mark them on my wish list to get around to once I was able to start picking up games again. And that kind of started a long downward spiral because games kept coming out at an increased rate. I kept discovering more games that I liked that had already come out. And then they kept throwing them on this list to eventually get to. And it just kept building and building and building. So here we are with this massive list.
Yeah, even though I'm scrutinizing Matt, I'm actually kind of the same. I think I'm also at like 213. So yeah.
Okay, so not just 100 game difference, not that big.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's that. And then you have my wish list of 16 games. I mean, not to throw you both under the bus, but honk honk motherfuckers, here comes the bus.
Yeah.
Look. I very easily forget things. I need to remember all of these games that come out somehow. Steam just happens to have this really useful feature where I click a button and this game goes in a list that I can reference at any time.
Well, it's interesting because, and maybe we'll get to this later, do you intend on buying everything on your wish list?
Heck yeah. One day I intend to own every game on this wish list.
All right, wow. I was really expecting the answer there to be no. So fair enough then. Never mind.
I honestly, if I get told that I'm about to die, every last dollar I have will be going to buying as many things on this wish list as possible.
God damn. Yeah, that's fair.
And then maybe I'll donate my Steam account to my nephew or something. So
actually, you can't do that because Steam made it illegal to do that for some fucking reason.
Also, you won't be able to do it because I'm going to hack your account and steal it for myself.
Hell yeah.
I mean, if y'all want it, y'all are welcome to it too.
Again,
it'll be in my will. Don't worry.
Again, I'm pretty sure it's actually against Steam's terms of service, but I don't know if they're going to change that. But
how are they going to know?
How are
they going to know? They're not going to check if I'm alive or not. They're just going to have somebody log into my Steam account.
I have no idea. I just know that a couple weeks, maybe a month ago, Steam says, yeah, if you fucking die, you can't just give your account away. I'm just like, excuse me, cunt. So that's fucking who.
I can't prove it.
I never got that email. So I guess, hey, counts up for sale if I croak, guys.
But so I have this massive list of on my Steam wish list, and we made a joke about it one day about let's just read through my list and judge my video game taste, so to speak. And it was a joke that I went, that actually sounds like it could be kind of amusing and fun to do. And then I realized one of these episodes that we're recording is going to be coming out on my birthday. What better to do than just scrutinize, judge, and roast my Steam wish list and me? What else is there to say before we jump into it? I guess that's really it. The list is one shorter because Stormgate went into early access this last week, I think, or maybe it was last 2 weeks, and within the last 48 hours, I picked it up. And so that is no longer on my wish list because I bought the early access. And so we will be talking about that probably in a future episode at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So you can look forward to that. That's not on here. Of course, a couple games did show up on Steam in the last few days.
A game replaced its spot already.
Yeah, you won't notice that missing number, that's for sure. And I don't know why I feel the need to just say this as well.
Oh.
There is exactly one Assassin's Creed game I do not own. It is not on this wish list because I own all of my Assassin's Creed games through the Ubisoft store, and I've just centralized all of my purchases of Assassin's Creed through that, so I don't bother with them on Steam.
Right.
So Mirage and Shadows do not show up on my wish list, but they are on my wish list over on Ubisoft.
Okay.
Fake fan, not buying it on all platforms.
You know what? I got nothing. You're right. I'm a fake fan. What can I say? Any questions before I just start reading this list and we can jump into it because it's a lot of games. I don't think it's going to take that long because I can't imagine y'all have.
It is absolutely going to take that long.
Yeah. I have a question. Are the games actually good?
What?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Almost died. God.
Don't die, old man.
Oi. Don't call him old. He's not that much older than me. And I'm aging up as of this episode.
Hey, man, this is a birthday special. Fucking with age is a factor in this podcast episode now. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Okay, well,
I
don't like this either. All right. So we're going to start it off at the very top of the list. I'm going to read these two games because they're connected. First and second is Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak and Trails Through Daybreak 2.
I got nothing other than I'm assuming fucking Aqua got you into the franchise and now you want to play those games.
I mean, want
You were
to.
correct.
He's already played a bunch of them.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, I mean, Aqua got me into the series, and Aqua, I don't actually think you listen to our podcast, but if you do, hey, thank you. This is the one place I'm saying it, so you better listen to our podcast to hear it. Thank you. I absolutely love this series. It is one of my favorite series I've ever played. It is an absolute blast. Love the characters. The games are so much fun. I honestly cannot thank you enough for introducing me to this series. It is a blast. And yeah, I've played through Cold Steel 1 and 2. I've played through 0. I'm playing through Azure as we speak. I own Cold Steel 3, Cold Steel 4, and own Reverie. So Daybreak and Daybreak 2 are the games after Reverie. There is a third game, I think, coming out in this trilogy here in the very near future in Japan. So there'll be a third game on this list when we get it over here on Steam as well. So
Oh boy.
very excited about these games. And it just so happens like my favorite characters from the previous installments happen to be the ones from the previous installments that make appearances. So I'm just kind of like, cool, I'm winning. I'm just winning. I get to see Fee. I get to see Rin. I'm just like, this is all good for me. And the games look really, really good, really fun. So yeah, that's the first two games. After that is also Legend of Heroes, but it's Trails in the Sky, second chapter and third. I own the first chapter, but I don't own these two. There is rumors out there that we're going to be getting remakes of the Sky trilogy.
They're pretty old at this point, yeah.
Yeah, and it's looking very plausible that those are legit things coming. I will still be picking up the original copies regardless, but if the remakes are a real thing, I might just wait and play the remake version instead of actually playing the original copies.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Depends on like how far out that ends up being. I actually manage to catch up in this series before the remakes come out, then I might end up just playing the originals first and then playing the remakes as well. So, see, not a lot to say, for some of these games. It's quick, it's easy, right?
Yeah, only
Yeah.
277 more to go.
Number 5. I think I've mentioned this one on the cast. I know I've mentioned this one on the cast because it is a very recent announcement. Sid Meier's Civilization 7.
We definitely did talk
Hey.
about this, yeah.
Yeah, your boy likes strategy. He likes these civilization builder games. And I'm a fan of Sid Meier's. I like his games. I can't wait to see how the series continues to evolve and develop in this one. I think the biggest thing 6 added that I enjoyed was like natural disasters, which was a really cool little like world element that could happen. So I'm excited to see what happens here. Next up is another one we've talked about plenty of times. Metaphor Re-Fantasia.
Yeah, it's been a
Hey.
popular one for so many people.
Fucking Persona, but good, I guess.
I don't know about that. Well,
we'll
I mean,
see.
I'm sure it will be good, but it's weird to say Persona but good when Persona is the series currently keeping the Megami Tensei stuff afloat.
Yeah. Yeah.
That said, I would prefer it to be more like SMT, but I can look at that game and say pretty definitively it will be more like Persona.
Mm.
There's definitely a heavy leaning towards Persona. You can see it in all of the
Yeah.
like trailers and things we've seen. Especially even because I don't think there's any like demon recruitment or enemy recruitment of any kind in this because
No, I think it's
using its
stock standard.
It's using its job system.
Yeah, stock standard characters, and the way to use demons in quotation marks is through the class system. So yeah.
Yeah, so and those are all uniquely coded for this game from what we've seen. They've unique designs for the jobs and everything.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I still think this is going to be a good game, but it's kind of like, it's different, but I'm also like, can you like kind of just go back to SMT and not Persona at this point?
I mean, you say that, but we did just get
I like Persona.
We did just get
SMT5
SMT
Vengeance.
5.
Yeah,
Vengeance,
true.
So.
Yeah. So I think it's
Yeah, we did
Persona's
just get
turn
that.
now. Get it? Because it's
not even that.
turn-based
like
combat.
Persona.
Get it?
I am hoping that it is a hybrid, or maybe not a hybrid, but I hope it's somewhere in the middle of the two. Because I think
Right.
I've said this on the podcast before. I find that Persona takes its life sim too seriously. Like I don't want to go through a full fucking year. I really don't. That's too much. Like I burn out of every single Persona game before the end.
Yep.
Which is never an issue with Megaten, with SMT, because those games feel like they're maybe 40 hours long. So having a game that's longer than that with some, sim elements would be fine. If it's Persona again, I'm probably just gonna skip it though. But it does look amazing, and it sounds great too.
Yeah, the time constraints don't seem anywhere near as like long as Persona has. Like it all seems a little bit more compact than what Persona does normally. So I feel like this game is going to take place like the entire story will take place maybe over 6 months instead of a year at most. So depending on how long the story ends up being, I guess. But I think the story sounds pretty cool. It's the first time that they've taken the SMT Persona style of games that they do and put it in like a wholly unique fantasy setting. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, because
We'll
both
see.
SMT and Persona, it's usually set in like real Japan, but it has like fantasy aspects to it. But in this game, it's like full blown fantasy world.
Yeah, hold on. Remember that the baddies are called humans. We're gonna find out that this is a postmodern world. This is not going to be a fantasy game. I guarantee you, there is a twist.
Maybe, because there is
We'll
a German
find out when it
there,
comes
so-
out.
I'm just saying.
We'll find out October 10th,
True.
2024.
Oh shit, it's coming out this year?
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, it is too. Yeah,
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 next-
yeah. Oh yeah, okay.
A month, a little under a month
Oh,
from
of
this
fucking
episode.
course.
So yeah, I look forward to it. I've been excited for this game since they first showed it off. So the next one will be probably one of the fastest ones to come off the wish list when it releases, partially because it's going to be free. It's Path of Exile 2.
Hell yes.
Finally,
I
a good
have-
Diablo game.
I mean, yes, correct, actually. I've bounced off that game twice, and it's less because of anything the game does. Like, a lot of people say they see the giant sphere grid of abilities and they bounce off. No, I've just bounced off because I require another person to play games like that. So
Right.
I am looking forward to 2 coming out and everyone getting really hype and wanting to try that out so we can run shit together.
Yeah.
Hey, because we still don't have an actual release date for this, if you ever do decide you want to play through a playthrough of PoE, let me know. I'll run
I
Yeah,
still have it
RGPOE.
downloaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Like I said, I bounced off this. Like I have it on my computer and everything.
I uninstalled it to clean up some space.
Understandable, to be fair.
I can easily reinstall. That's not that
Yeah,
hard.
if anyone like wants to run it, I will run it with you. I need
Fuck yes.
someone to
You need a
play that
human.
game. Otherwise, I'm not built for
Alright.
that. I don't know why that's different because I
It
didn't
is.
have this issue with Diablo, and even still, I think Path of Exile is the better game. Not even Path of Exile 2, just like Path of Exile base is a better game.
I think it's kind of Diablo's a little bit more compact of an experience
Mm-hmm.
compared to PoE. Considering PoE is like just a much larger scope with everything that you can do.
Sure.
So
I mean, to be fair,
the human interaction and gameplay and whatnot probably helps keep from everything being a bit more overwhelming and helps compact the experience of playing it a little bit.
I think that's a solid take, yeah. But yeah, that's something definitely I'm looking forward to seeing come out. Have you all been keeping up with any of the updates at all? Not updates,
Yes.
but yeah, no, like,
Every time something comes up, usually somebody sends it to me, so I've seen most of
yeah,
it.
it looks sick. I like all of the
it looks
additions
really
I've
good.
seen, and after playing Path of Exile, especially the movement stuff, it's going to be a godsend.
Oh yeah. Well, sounds like we'll all be playing PoE 2 together, and we'll probably end up, by the sounds of it, be playing a run of PoE 1 together in the near future.
Yeah, so I just
Hey.
quickly looked it up. It's 6 members per party, so it's us.
6?
And if we want to
Wow.
add it, yeah, because I thought it was
That's
4
way
as
bigger
well,
than
but
I
no.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
4 is what it's been in every other genre of this game.
yeah, but no, it literally says 6, so I'm just like, oh, sweet. Members of the party are shown to the left. Parties allow up to 6 people to play together.
Wow. Okay. Well, I know we know a lot of people that play this game, so I'm sure that wouldn't be hard to fill if we wanted to. So, unfortunately, no release date, so it's just perpetually stuck here, really high on the list. But once it's out, it's off the list and in the library.
Hell yeah.
Next up is Resident Evil 4, the new remake version.
Okay, I was about to judge you very harshly.
Do you have the OG?
I have. Do we have the OG?
Yes, we do. On Steam.
Like, are you asking me
No,
if I
yeah,
own
do you
it,
yeah,
or is
do,
it- oh,
yeah,
if it's
do you have RE4 on Steam?
on Steam? I do not own the original. The original is on Steam.
Yeah.
In fact, I will spoil. It is on this list as well, but it's just
Wait, hold
way
on now.
Whoa,
You have
whoa,
played
okay.
Resident Evil 4 before, right?
Oh yeah. I played it on PS.
Okay, I was about to say, because now the roast begins, if I hear that. Okay, no, we're good. We're
I
good.
have played Resident Evil. Actually, believe it or not, Resident Evil 4 was my introduction to the Resident Evil.
I absolutely
Um,
do believe that it was a super solid place to get in people that had not played up until it.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't even a matter of just not played. My when I got into video games, my scope was very like
Narrow?
small.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, narrow because I knew the things that I already knew because they were existing in other IPs.
Right.
So anything that was like anime games, um certain things that like my uncle got to play on my PlayStation I knew about. The like very obvious things like sports games and things like that I knew existed. So
Mhm.
I didn't have a great understanding of what all was out there. And then my cousin who would come down every summer, who's actually younger than me, my younger cousin would come down, and like one summer he came down after having gotten a PlayStation and an Xbox uh in the time since we last saw each other. Uh and
Damn, he
he's
got
the one
both?
who showed me. Well, we missed a summer, I think it was. So it was 2 years that he ended up getting both. So it was he got a PS2 and an Xbox, and within those 2 years. He may actually it may have been 2 separate years, and then he ended up trading one for the other. I don't remember. I was young. Um, disregardless, he
Disregardless.
just he just picked up a bunch of games. Um, Picked up games at random. I don't know how we found out so many games. To be honest, I never asked him. Never really bothered me back then. But he showed me a bunch of games, and that's when I started to really broaden my like horizons to gaming. I saw that there was a lot more out there than the little bit I knew of, and started finding more on my own.
Sure.
Um, but Resident Evil is what he showed me. He showed me the series, and he showed me with 4. Um, it's one of those games that he showed me. I attribute to him showing me, and it's one that me and him, we would always play together. Like one of us would be playing, the other was watching, always. Um, so I have a very close attachment to this game. I know it's his favorite in the series and one of his favorite games, period. And when it came out, like I am with certain games, there was no hesitation. It was bought. It was he had it. He played it. He was done with it in like within 48 hours. He just it's one of those games for him. And I was very excited when I heard about this remake, and so I was like, yeah, this is going on my wish list, and I'm gonna pick it up as soon as I can or am able, and it's like a thing to do because I loved Resident Evil 4. It wasn't like Final Fantasy 7 remake where they changed a bunch of stuff. It was a true to the original, just polished up,
Correct.
remade
Yeah.
version of 4, and it was so good. Like I've watched so many people play it. It's just so
There's some
good, and I
changes.
can't wait.
Apparently, a knife can parry a fucking chainsaw and all that shit
Yeah,
now.
but
Yeah,
but when compared to something like 7 remake,
Yeah,
this is faithful
mean,
as hell.
yeah,
like
that's
that's a
yeah.
change that is possible because of newer like a bit like developments in like programming and whatnot. Like would have been a lot to probably do on top of everything else Resident Evil 4 did on the PS2.
Right.
I could be wrong on that. I don't know the ins and outs of all of it that well, but I'm willing to bet some of these things are like, oh, this would have been cool. We didn't have the quote unquote technology to do this back then, but we can do it now. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to change the original at all. I have a lot of memories chilling with people playing both the PS2 and the GameCube version of those games, and we put way too much time into Mercenaries.
Fuck yeah.
oh, I loved Mercenaries so much. When I heard it was coming with the remake of 4, I just got even more excited because I was like, yes, I love Mercenaries.
It was sick.
Yeah, so I'm still looking forward to picking this up. If anything, just play more Mercenaries because I love Mercenaries. Resident Evil 4 introduced me to the series. I knew the movies. This is where I was introduced to the games, and
God,
I proceeded to
movies.
play. I proceeded to play all of the older games after this, and I love the series. I think the series is great. So
Very cool.
love Resident Evil. Next, after a couple DLC, is Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Yeah, you
Game
and
that's
everyone.
never gonna
though.
come out.
Like,
It's on
we-
our
The game that
It's unironically the halfway through a fucking Metrovania.
We genuinely all wear our goddamn clown makeup every time there's an award show or a game announcement show. We're all like, yeah, surely it'll be at this one though. It's only meant to come out like last year or something, maybe the year before that even. So
Don't worry, guys. There's going to be a trailer for Silk Song at fucking Tokyo Game Show.
goodness gracious.
Huffing that copium.
I mean, to be fair, this is a game that was supposed to be a DLC that just had so much life in it, became a standalone. So,
Yeah. I mean, up until I think it was last month, like the developers were like adamant, like, no, this is coming out in 2024. We promise. But like, I think sometime like last month, they were like, okay, maybe we're not gonna make that promise after all.
take talk.
December 30th, it's
Yeah.
coming out.
I mean, the upside is I don't expect this to be anything but good. And not just because of a bias, but because at the end of the day, this was supposed to be a DLC to Hollow Knight. And Hollow Knight is still good today. So it's going to be baseline good.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is gonna be good regardless.
My only worry is that a lot of the hype for this game is going to have been lost over the years. So I'm still looking forward to it as well, though.
You say that, but as somebody who only recently finally took the time to play through Hollow Knight and absolutely fell in love with it, freaking love Hollow Knight. And this game was on my wish list even before I had played it because I already knew I was going to like Hollow Knight. I didn't realize how much
Sure.
I was going to like Hollow Knight. Because Hollow Knight very quickly became one of the top games I've ever played. Like in my history of playing games, it is one of my favorites I've played. It was such a joy to play. And I can't say any Metroidvania has ever done that for me before because, well, I don't dislike Metroidvanias, but they just at the end of the day don't enrapture me like a lot of games
That's
do.
understandable.
But yeah, Hollow Knight managed to do that. But since I've started playing Hollow Knight, and I'm still technically playing Hollow Knight, I've looked up stuff on YouTube, and I've found that there are so many people still making videos on Hollow Knight on YouTube that are still waiting for Silk Song.
Yep.
Fun little thing. I posted this in our chat earlier this week. I was filling out a survey for a game, and it was asking like what of like genre of
Oh,
games do you
right.
play? Which of these games have you played? And I got to one of them, and it was like, which of these games in this genre have you played? And on there was Hollow Knight Silk Song, and I'm like, excuse me, how can I have played this game when it doesn't exist yet?
I am convinced that's a question they're looking at to see if they're like bots that are just designed to click every choice and move on.
I wanted to pick it. You have no idea how strong the urge was to take
Get
that
your
one.
survey thrown out immediately.
just because I'm like,
That's
I mean,
no.
when the game comes out, I'll easily have put 20 hours into it at minimal, as the question was worded. But I'm just like, I mean, yes, if it existed, I would have already put 20 hours into it, sure. But yeah, no, I thought that was really funny, and I'm just like, what is this survey?
It's a hell of a question to ask.
Next one is one that Dalet's already got and played. Hades 2.
Man, yes. God, I love Hades so much. It just all the good brain chemicals all of the time.
I've watched plenty of people play Hades 2 since it went into early access. Yeah, it's more Hades, and Hades is great, and I am excited to play it.
Last update was about a month ago, so there'll be another update coming fairly soon, I should think. There is no roadmap because they're smart. They understand that things are subject to change, but I would suspect that sometime in the next 2 weeks we'll be getting another update.
I still haven't finished a run through of Hades 1 yet, so I'm not in a mad rush to pick this one up. but I definitely want to pick this one up, and whenever I finally take the time to finish, a playthrough of Hades 1 is when I will probably end up picking up Hades 2. So
Correct. Yes.
because
Good.
it's a definite I'm gonna get it because Hades is fantastic.
Yes, and I will keep bothering you to play this game as I
Sure.
bother everyone to play Hades.
Next up is one we've actually already mentioned, and that's Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance.
Hey.
I think we've mentioned this in cast before as well. It's funny how when a game that was locked to Nintendo comes out anywhere else, and suddenly it's just like I have no desire to touch the Nintendo version again, even if I do own it.
Yep.
I mean, it's a mood, frankly.
So I will finish SMT5 when I pick up Vengeance.
Right.
And not a moment before.
No, completely understandable. Everything that I can see says that this is the base game and a whole ass new game. So I haven't gotten around to Vengeance yet, but I have completely cleared all routes of the base game. I only wish I could carry over my save, but what with it being on the Nintendo Switch, can't do that. So I'll have to play through that again. Brilliant game. Like I said before, I much prefer the SMT side of things. It's much more streamlined. It's I don't even necessarily know if it's more challenging, but it is challenging, so I'm all about it. And I love what I've seen of Vengeance for, various reasons.
Next up, one that will actually probably cause a bit of a discourse among our friend group on thoughts is Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
Yeah. I have no faith in that fucking thing.
Yeah, same. I unironically would rather play 2.
So why does everyone say this? Am I the only 2 defender? I thought 2 was brilliant.
I like 2. I'm with you, Dollar.
Thank you.
I'm with you, Dollar. I'm with
you. Don't get me wrong, Origins is far and away the best, but I liked 2.
Oh, 100%.
I think 2 was fun.
I mean, after Origins, the series just kind of started going down a particular design that was steering further and further away of their original image in Origins. And I think that culminates with Veilguard.
It sure
Veilguard
does.
The product of that. That being said, I don't necessarily dislike this road that they've gone down. I would have preferred if they had stuck with the Origins way of things. But I liked 2. I liked Inquisition. And when we saw the initial trailer for Veilguard, as we talked about in the SGF episode, it was bad. It ruined so much for me. But they did show actual like a gameplay of like the opening chapter.
Fair. I have since seen this. Yes.
Yeah, a day or so later, and I'm just like, okay. So the tone of that trailer was nothing to do with the actual tone of the game.
I don't know why they would do that. It's so different.
I don't know either.
Because the tone of the trailer was very popular. We need to replicate it. We need to replicate its energy.
The trailer was Borderlands. The tone of that trailer was Borderlands.
It was both. Like, everyone was saying it's either Marvel or Borderlands or both, and I'm just like, yeah, I can. It's awful.
But the actual gameplay and the actual story going on in that little sequence was like, oh, no, this feels way more in line with Inquisition at least.
Yeah, like that's what I would compare it to.
Story bits. Yeah, and I'm fine with that. I liked Inquisition. There were, interesting bits there. So I was like, I'm all right. All of my worry and concern is now gone because it was all formed by a really poor decision of a trailer. And the actual game, looks fine. It's more of the like gameplay route they've been going towards with Inquisition and 2 and whatnot.
Right.
So like I said, prefer Origins in a lot of ways, but I like the series. I like the world. So I like it enough that, even if Veilguard isn't the best out there, I still like it all enough to pick up this one and play it eventually. So
I hope it doesn't disappoint. Like I hope it at least does like the minimum viable to have a good time. But I didn't mind 2. I thought it was a more intimate feel. I didn't love Inquisition. Um, there were aspects of it that I did like, but there was just too much of it. I was like, this isn't the story I want to listen to, and some of these characters aren't for me either.
Hmm.
And we're focused very much on a character in Veilguard that I do not like, and that I was happy to see gone. So
Well, we still don't know for sure if that character is going to persist through the entirety of
that's true,
Veilguard.
especially given what we saw. That's a fair point.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'll agree. That character didn't do too much for me. Um, I'd say I actually liked a lot of the cast from Veilguard. There was a lot of fun interactions, um, like just between different characters that I just loved listening to. Yeah, I really enjoyed the cast in Inquisition. I don't know what to say. I really liked them. I think overall I liked Inquisition's cast and their dynamic more than I liked twos for like the majority. Not more than Origins. Clearly not more than Origins. But I don't know. I feel like there was a fun dynamic going on with the Inquisition
Which
ones,
is true.
especially well, I can't remember the characters' names because it's been too long. But the Iron
Iron Bull.
yeah, Iron Bull and the scrawny rogue
Oh, I didn't care for her.
guy.
Wait, guy. Oh, right. I forget he exists, which is pretty in character, if I'm honest.
Yeah, there was a fun interaction because I was using both of them. This is like cemented in my memory, and it's what part of what made me decide. Yeah, I really like Inquisition. Uh, I was just walking through the world. I wasn't doing anything like particularly important, just kind of looking around at stuff. And they just started up a conversation because they were in my party. And he asks, and they were bantering back and forth, and it comes down to the little scrawny guy going, "But why the Iron Bull? Your horns look a lot more like a dragon's. You could have been the Iron Dragon." And the Iron Bull was like, "Shit, that's so much cooler. What have I done?" And I was like, "Oh, yep, sold. These two characters right here. This makes this game worth it." So I don't know. I'm hoping for more banter like that with
I'll
Veilguard
say this for
because that was one of my
Veilguard,
favorite
and
things.
it's a really small thing. I was happy to see Harding back, and I don't know how many people actually care about Harding. Uh, that's Ali Hillis, and I love Ali Hillis. But B, I was
Lightning.
kind of disappointed. Yeah, it's light. I was kind of disappointed she wasn't a romance option because I thought she was fucking adorable in Inquisition.
Valid. Moving on, Fairy Tale 2. I like Fairy Tale. Played the first one, enjoyed it.
Oh, is
The
that
second,
the anime?
yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
anime.
I was severely confused because like a lot of fucking games could have been called Fairy Tale.
That's fair.
It's such a generic fucking
No,
name.
this is the one based off the
Right,
anime.
gotcha. Okay.
I played the first game. I thought the first game was really fun,
This is the
and I'll play the second
RPG.
one. Yeah,
Hmm.
the first one was a turn-based RPG, which was surprising. But I was like, oh, turn-based RPG, heck yeah! And it's Fairy Tale. I like Fairy Tale, and I thought I enjoyed it. Now it was a full price game, and I don't think it was really worth being a full price game. I'll say that.
Holy
The
shit! No fucking way it was.
Yeah, it was a full price game, which at the time
I
was
was gonna
60,
say, is
not
that
$70.
60? Is that yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it was 60 USD, not 70.
Oh,
But that was 60 USD. By the way, the season pass is also 60
Yeah, that never
USD.
feels good.
ugh.
Still, by the
Yeah,
way,
no, I
60
don't love
USD. So I
that.
have not picked that up yet. Um, but I was like, okay, this game doesn't really feel like it should be 60 USD in terms of what there is to do because it's only like two story arcs from the from the anime that's actually in the game. I'm just like that doesn't really it's not really a lot. Uh but the game itself was very fun to play. And they did have some side mission stuff that they added for the game to do, so you had things to do, I guess. But it's like it didn't really feel like it should have been 60 USD,
Yeah, that's my
but it was a
issue.
fun game.
That's my issue with a lot of games like that. It's a Bandai Namco game, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, like that. Like my biggest issue with Bandai Namco is even when it puts out games that are fundamentally fine, their anime suite does feel a lot like shovelware. It feels like they constantly need to be putting it out there, and it constantly needs to be generating revenue.
Hmm.
And I genuinely wouldn't have a problem with that because they're the only people doing the anime IPs currently. To be fair, so like I wouldn't have
yeah.
a problem if either the games were slightly higher quality, which would be my preference, or much lower price. And I don't even just mean like put it back down to 60. I mean like those games, even the good anime games, quote unquote, should probably be capping out at about $40.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
That said, a lot of them are low effort. And it sounds like the fairy tale one deigns to be interesting by nature of being turn based and being different, at least.
Right. It yeah.
Shame I don't
It
care for Fairy Tale though. What I
I
know
liked
is
Fairy Tail,
Kachevi, and they're adorable.
yeah, and that's all that matters. As a fan, that's all that matters. They're adorable and they are the best. Um, I liked the anime. I was always a big fan of the anime and the manga, and I was just like, okay, I'll play the game because holy crap, it's a fairy tale game. I never expected to get this. It was more than I wanted to spend. The gameplay itself and the game loop fun. Wish they had done more with it. Like they chose two arcs out of all the arcs, and it was two arcs later in the series where there was just like there's everything before it they could have done as well just to make the game longer and more to do. I get why they didn't do that to some extent, but it just felt weird. So it's just like okay. This one looks like they're turning away from the turn based into more of an action RPG. I'm like, well, that's unfortunate because I really liked the turn based system and the way they did it. But I mean, we've only really got a small trailer. I think is all they've shown, so maybe I'm wrong. And it looks like they're just doing the second arc they did in the first game, and then the two arcs after it. Which one of the two arcs after it is a mini arc. It's really small and it's kind of just a build up into that final arc. And that's all they're doing. And I'm just like, man, they're doing it again. It's basically two arcs, and that's it. And they're probably gonna release it at like a full price game. And I'm just like, ugh. I'm probably gonna get it, but this time I think I'm gonna wait until I catch it on sale instead of getting it at release. So no suckering me out of a full 70
That
because
feels
they're gonna go full
correct.
price. No suckering
Uh,
me out of a 70 USD. I'll wait for that to hit sale this
That's
time.
just hearing that just makes me sad.
Next up is one that me and Nat have talked about before, so I don't really think we have anything more to say about it because we haven't gotten any new information. That's Claire Obscure Expedition 39.
Yes. Oh my god. This is the game that fucking Final Fantasy VII players wanted, unironically.
In a
Yeah,
way.
yeah. And yet they did not
Um,
get it. So, fuck yeah.
We don't have any new information, so there's nothing else to really say about it. But yeah, I am excited for it. So next is Dragon's Dogma 2. I played the first one. I liked the first one. I was excited when they announced the second one. I'll pick it up and play it eventually.
Fair.
Arisen, did you know wolves are weak to fucking fire?
Had no idea. Thank you. Next is one that me and Nat might be able to say a little bit more about
Oh.
now than we could before, and that's Mecha Break.
Hey.
Ah, yes. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Yeah, we got to play the beta this last week. And I had a blast with it. I'm not gonna lie.
I also had a blast with it. It was really fucking interesting from my point of view because, as you guys know, I live in Australia. So when I play on NA servers, it's roughly between 200 to 250 ping, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like that when I was playing this. It actually felt pretty good for my ping and all that. So I was very happy.
I'm surprised because the one thing that like my gut was screaming was like, say rollback netcode. Like I don't know if that would actually like the ping though. So it felt like super responsive and everything.
Yeah, like obviously,
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not pretty sure. I'm sure that there is an absolute difference between 30 ping and 200 ping. Um, but like nothing felt like the nothing just felt like off, like the abilities went off as they should. Hitting also connected. Like there was like none of that like, oh, I hit him but like I didn't damage him, or like I hit him but like the damage happened 5 seconds later. Like none of that happened. It was like hit, damage, and I'm just like, okay, good. This game is working for me. So
Hey,
yeah, I was very happy
I
with
mean,
it.
look, I might not understand how it works, but that is great news.
The gameplay loop is like,
It's just better Overwatch.
yeah, but it's like Overwatch's. It's just a bunch of like the similar game modes as to what you would find in something like
Wait,
Yeah.
Overwatch. But you're in mech.
What? Overwatch? Hold on now.
Oh, we got his attention now.
No, I'm very confused by this because I was expecting you all to say like this is surprisingly close to Armored Core, or this is kind of close to something like I don't know, Gundam, the Arena Fighters. I I didn't realize this was like a mission based, not mission, but like an objective based gameplay thing.
Yeah, I don't
So
think.
the main game might have a story mode. I'm not certain about it. And if there is a story mode, that might be closer to the Armor Core side of
Right.
thing, maybe. But all of this beta was
Just PvP.
it was PvP, and that is very much Overwatch. Like the escort, the cargo to the objective, the like King of the Hill, capture the flag
Yeah.
style things that you would see, like capture zone A, blah blah blah. Like
Yeah,
these
capture
kind of
zone
things.
A, hold it to gain points and all that shit.
Huh.
Yeah.
And
It
it's
was
not a
pretty cool.
hero shooter. It's you're still building your own mech, though.
It
right?
sort of is a hero shooter, but like it's not like okay, so you know how in Overwatch you have a character and the cosmetics, all it does is just change the fucking cosmetics, right? It just changes the character skin.
Yeah.
You can customize your mechs with like it's not just cosmetics, but like actually with like equipment and all that. But it's still a hero shooter, as in the mechs have their own abilities and that's their abilities. Like it can't be like switched over between mechs and all that.
Oh, I guess it's a
Right.
neat way
Each
to do
mech
it.
is
Yeah.
each mech is its own like base build kit design. It has the same equipment, but you can customize it with what I think the game called them mods.
Yeah.
And the mods can like affect your reload speed, your energy like recharge,
Yeah,
on
energy
things,
regen.
things
Yeah.
like that. So there is customization, and you can customize each mech to your particular play preference, and that gives you your sense of diversity, and how you play this one might be different from how this person plays this same one, and keep things interesting. And it's like none of the changes are like game breaking to a point that like it would establish that meta problem of you have to play this one this way.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to really tweak each one of them to your play
Now,
preference and style.
that may change in full release, but that's something we have to wait for. But yeah.
Yeah, but for the most part, like there's just a bunch of different like mech designs, and they fall into like heavy fighter, light fighter, heavy support, light support, heavy defender,
sniper,
Yeah, this is
all that shit.
definitely not what I would have expected.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool.
And I believe they're going to be adding more mechs as in the full release and in the future to the game as its life cycle goes on. So it'll be interesting to see. I had a blast playing it. It was really fun. This is a game about breaking mechas, fighting mechas and mechas, and I was playing a fighter jet.
I was playing
That's
default hero man, and then I unlocked a mech named Panther, and it's a fucking lance and shield, and it skewers mechs. It's so cool.
I was literally like a menace. I was like just a fighter jet up in the air, flying
Yeah, just
around, dropping
carpet
bombs,
bombing.
shooting torpedoes, just flying past, just poking at people with little lasers, just constantly all over the place. I was a menace.
Just
Was I helping the team in any way? Probably not. But I was harassing and annoying the ever loving crap out of the enemies. I can tell you that. There was one game mode where I actually did get to do a lot, where it was like pick up objective, take it to point A, and I just picked up objective, turned into a jet, and just zoomed across the map to the point and was there. And by the time everybody else got to the map, like got to the objective, I'd already finished uploading it, and it was just like
yeah.
Oh, damn.
done. So it was very effective for me to pick it up and go every time. But yeah, it was a blast. I'm really excited for the full release. Last time I played like a mech based shooter there was this Transformers game a number of years back that had a big PvP element to it, and I really enjoyed playing that back then. And
The Cybertron games?
enjoyed this, and yeah, it was a Cybertron game.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
Also, the reason why I say Overwatch because it is 6v6.
And you are, and only
Yeah.
one of each mech on each team. So
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so no double ups, no fucking double fucking. Well, actually, you can have double
the
healers,
exact
but
same
like no double, no two fucking OP exact same
Okay,
healers.
so
they
Overwatch
fucked
went from
that.
having virtually no competition, just TF2, to now Marvel Rivals and Mecha Break.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next on the list is the game that basically took Stormgate's number on the list, because this game was locked behind Epic, and I don't know when, but in the last few days it went up on Steam, and that's Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Hey, that's supposed to be really good. I haven't
Hey,
gotten
let's
it yet.
fucking go.
Yeah, I haven't either. It's on sale for 40% off right now. I love Prince of Persia as an IP. I've played most of the old ones, and this one's a Metroidvania. And yeah, no, I'm excited for it because I'm like, I love Prince of Persia. So heck yeah, I was excited when they announced it. I was following it, and then when it released on Epic for PC, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait till it comes to Steam eventually,
Correct.
hopefully, and it did. So that went right on the list, right here. So yeah, excited about that one when I get to play it. Next up is the one that YouTube basically, bullied me into being excited for, Monster Hunter Wilds.
Let's go.
Hey, let's fucking go.
We are
Bullying does
being
work, ladies and
inundated with
gentlemen.
information, so
Yeah,
the hype only rises.
there's a lot
Yes,
of
we are.
information. We'll save that to talk about probably in an episode of its own, but yeah, it's here on the list because we have been a lot of
Yeah,
information
yeah.
dumped in the last little bit about it.
Yeah.
Very Next up is one that I'm sure a lot of people are going to raise an eyebrow that it's as high as it is.
Oh, this is in ranked order.
Yeah, this is a number. Right now, we're still in the mostly ranked section.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is mostly like, this is where I want these games. We're getting to the point where we're out of it. Still a little bit more to go, but yeah, this is mostly ranked. And you'll notice most of these are games that have come out in the last year, 2 years, or are yet to come out. So that's how you can tell. It's because it's a lot of the newer, more excited, hyped things, quote unquote hyped things.
Fair enough then.
This one, yeah, we'll get the fact that it's up here in this section at all and not just in a general section later is why I say it'll raise some eyebrows. But of the actual ranked section, it is towards the bottom. So maybe that's a redeeming number factor. I don't know. It's Starfield. I have Starfield here.
I mean,
Ooh.
I don't think it's full price anymore, so it's immediately more worthwhile. But
True.
That's about all the nice things I have to say about Starfield.
Ooh. Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have a lot to say about it myself, honestly. I've played Bethesda's other RPGs. I figure, I guess I'll play this one eventually. Like, and I have no like immense desire to pick it up immediately. Um, Ultimately, what sold me and made me decide, I guess I will pick it up eventually and play it, opposed to I'm just not worried about it. Was I think I watched Callie play it,
Right.
and I was just like, okay, well, if you approach this with the mind that she was approaching it with, at least in her playthrough there, and the mind that I would be the type of person to approach it with, you can have fun with it. And I'm like, that's valid. I'll throw it on the list. I'll pick it up eventually. I'll kill, 20, 30 hours playing it. Sure. One day. We'll see. Maybe when it gets its first official DLC, they'll iron out a lot of problems and it'll get a lot better. So. Next up is Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I played the
fucking
first one. Absolutely stupendous game. My goodness, I liked it. I didn't pick up the sequel because at the time the PC port had myriad issues, and I hear that they are probably fixed by now. So that's also on my list, and I need to pick that up
hopefully.
at some point.
Honestly, just echo
Yeah.
what you said over here. That's pretty much the same boat. Played the first one, loved it. Was excited about the second one. PC had a lot of issues with it apparently. I didn't pick it up when it launched in part because of that, and now it's just kind of sitting here. I'll pick it up at some point. I think I technically still need to finish the first one. I don't think I've done the very end of it yet. So there's that as well.
Fair.
Next one, Hogwarts Legacy. I like Harry Potter as an IP. I grew up on it, and it's the Harry Potter RPG, and I'm like, well, that sounds cool. RPG loosely, but RPG.
Yeah, I heard it was good, but like it's just one of those like if you're like really into Harry Potter, you'll probably like it, and you might like it if you're an RPG fan, but like yeah, it's just one of those like I don't want to say niche because Harry Potter isn't niche, but yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. I heard as a game, it's perfectly fine. It's actually more than fine. It's actually pretty good. So, I don't fault you for it.
yeah. I mean,
I read Harry Potter growing up, but most of my Harry Potter came from, I mean, like so many guys, I'm sure, a girl who I was into, who was very into it, and we became. I should now know everything about it because I I didn't have much of a say in the matter.
that was me
So-
with Twilight instead, so I know
Nope,
how you
still
feel
don't know
about
fuck
it.
all about Twilight, thank God.
You're lucky because I would rather have a Harry Potter girl than a fucking Twilight girl.
I mean, again, let's be clear here. I did read it on my own. I became particularly knowledgeable after that. As far as the game goes, I don't know if it's. I don't like playing as children anymore, and you're forced to in a Harry Potter game. But yeah, it looks great. It looks like a God, what to compare it to? Because the game doesn't look like it takes risks. It looks like a very solid reinterpretation of a game we've all played before, with a lovely Harry Potter filter over the top of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm I'm a book nerd. I read Harry Potter. I liked Harry Potter, and this looks like a fun Harry Potter game. That's really all it took for me to be like, okay, I'm sold.
Yeah. I mean, you can fucking cast Avada Kedavra, so out of what the fuck is it called? Avada Kedavra? Kedavra?
Avada Kedavra.
Yeah. You can fucking cast that spell in the game, so I'm like, okay,
Yeah, you can basically be a Death Eater before Death Eaters even existed.
fuck yeah, let's go.
So, sure. Next up, Avowed.
A who? A what?
oh, this is the Obsidian Elder Scrolls game essentially.
Yes.
Yes, no, it looks great. I'm surprised it got delayed.
Wait,
But-
what? Hold on, I'm gonna have to look it up myself.
Yeah, this is Obsidian's take on an Elder Scrolls game. I have nothing bad to say about it.
Avowed?
It's gonna be good.
Avowed. AVOWED. Yeah, that's it. It's Obsidian's take on an Elder Scrolls.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The
Yep.
the game after this on my list is The Outer Worlds. It's the oldest game in the higher section. Um, because I have yet to play it, and that's their take on a space fantasy.
Mhm.
So I guess you could say it's their take on,
Starfield, I guess.
but it came out before that. But yeah, Obsidian, like, they made an amazing RPG back with the one Fallout they did, and yeah, it sold me on. I trust them to play RPGs, to make RPGs. Uh, the Outer Worlds has gotten a lot of praise when it came out, very positive reviews. So I wanted to play it, never got around to it. It's on my list here. And then they announced they were making their own fantasy like RPG, and I'm like, hey, I prefer fantasy to most things, so it's going on this list because it's fantasy from the Obsidian. So I'm like, heck yeah, thumbs
Understandable.
up. I'm here for it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, excited for that. After Avowed and the Outer Worlds is Banishers Ghosts of New Eden.
Yeah,
The
I've seen
fuck
this.
is that?
This is the husband with the dead wife, who are both
Dead?
monster
Yeah.
hunters.
Ghost?
It's a really, really cool idea.
It is. I remember this when it was announced. I think in 2022. I want to say to 2022, 2021.
Thereabouts.
It was, yeah, it was announced at, I think, the VGAs that year, and I was like, that looks cool. I'm interested. Threw it on my list then, completely forgot about it because we didn't hear about it until last year again, and then it came out earlier this year. So when it was around when it just before it came out that I was reminded of it, and I was like, oh yeah, this looks pretty good. I want to try it out. So, and it's only 50 USD opposed to brand new game 70 USD. So
Hey,
that makes
let's
it even
go.
more exciting.
You'll love to hear it.
Throw that on there. Next one is one that I know Dalit is also really excited for, is Black Myth Wukong.
Yes.
Hey, I'm also excited for it. What the fuck?
I know. I just know Dalit likes to talk about this game. He's excited about.
Yeah, I mean, like we've known about this game for an age, and it just looks like a Chinese myth movie. Like the gameplay to
Mhm.
me still doesn't even look real, though the gameplay does look a whole lot more like gameplay than it did in the initial trailers, which is fair enough. We all
Yeah.
kind of understood it was never actually going to look that good, but yeah, it looks amazing. We've got to see more and more. The game comes out very, very soon. Oh my goodness. It's almost real.
Isn't it also like less than a month
Within a
away?
week of this recording.
Hmm.
A week?
Yeah, no, like it
Within a
comes
week of
out
this
this
recording.
month, my guy.
Bro, I'm so terrible with dates. You should know this by now.
Hmm.
Next up is wow, I just saw the release date for this game as I was about to say the name, and I'm surprised it's a year old now. Liza P.
Oh yeah, it does feel like that game just came out.
Liza P.
I don't really have a lot to say. I just I like Souls-like stuff, so I threw it on there because I was like, sure.
Which is exactly what this is. So you're going to be getting exactly what you expect.
Yep. All I know is fucking apparently you have to go against anything and everything that Doxus has told you. You need to throw it out the window because apparently block is the way to go in that game. And I'm just like, oh no, I gotta block in a Dark Souls game.
Hey, you might not need to do that. You might be able to just like outskill it if you're used to it.
No, there's something has to do with like a mechanic about like get rid of getting so bosses. So you and bosses have this mechanic that's kind of like in Bloodborne. You take damage, and if you hit back, you can regain that HP. In order to get rid of bosses' regainable HP, you have to like do a visceral attack, and the best way to do it is like through blocking or some shit like that. I'm just like, oh, you don't parry, you don't. anything. No,
Right.
just yeah. So yeah, try and block in that game.
Next up is Total War Warhammer 3.
Okay, yeah.
I like strategy games. Said this a number of times at this point. My desire to have like a strategy, create an army of undead, and control it style thing that I've talked about before. This is the game people point me to when I mention that. My brother plays it. He's a fan of it. Uh, he also recommended it because of the same thing. So
Yeah, how
I intend to pick it up at some point
how many
and give it a
fucking
shot.
DLCs does that game have as well?
Uh, a lot.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
It's a lot.
Mhm.
Next up is Perfect Dark,
Right.
The new
Yeah, we spoke
one.
about this
the new one.
a couple weeks ago, I feel. We talked about how you were interested in this.
Yeah, not too long ago we talked about this one, so don't really have to repeat anything here. I just, I'm interested. It looked good. I'm excited to try it eventually.
I'll be interested to hear what the reviews
have
have
no-
to say. People seem to be kind of skewed
Yeah.
on this one way or the next. So
Yeah, we don't have a date or anything. We don't even think we have a window, so it's just kind of a wait and see on that one. But following that is the Dead Space remake from last year.
Okay.
I own all the other Dead Spaces already, so I played them.
Just add in your collection.
Yeah, I'm at this point. I'm just like I liked the first Dead Space, so I have no problem picking up the remake and giving it a shot. But it was kind of one of those games I never really cared if it got a remake. But I don't know. I've played the rest of the series. I feel like honor bound to play this one at some point.
Right.
Last couple games here in the actual like rated section here. Stray.
Okay.
yes,
Plays a cat. You go
chill
through,
cat game.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. I saw that, and it was just that's how they described it, and I'm like, I'm sold.
Actually, I
Got
say
it.
this, but I think a couple of times I've seen people mention that it is maybe not as chill as it lets on. Don't know. Haven't played it yet. It's also on my list.
I'm not going to say anything if you don't want to get spoiled, but yeah.
The fact that you can spoil this game kind of blows my mind.
True. I have had a couple things spoiled, but it's fine. I want to play it. It looks cool. Stray.
Imagine there's a sequel to Stray. It's called Stray 2, and you just play as two cats.
Heck yeah.
I mean,
chill cat game with your bro.
I've got two thumbs with two analog sticks. It can be done.
So, next is Lords of the Fallen.
Oh, right. There's a new one, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made it. They remade it? Remake?
Revamped it, rebooted it. I don't know.
But yeah.
It's another Souls-like. I watched Happy play it. And I was like, all right, it looks like another Souls-like. I'll give it a shot one day and throw it on.
I don't remember, but like apparently it wasn't that great. I don't know if that was.
It's got mixed reviews.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
Honestly, like there's a couple games here. There's a couple games here that might be higher than they need to be. So they're like, honestly, this game probably could have gone into the generic like just section of games that's later for Souls likes. Probably the same thing for Lies of P because I don't think either of them really stood out to me that much.
Well, this
when I sorted it, I put them up here.
But this Lords of the Fallen is actually playable compared to the first Lords of the Fallen, so that's a good start.
I think I worked at GameStop when the first one came out. So, last game in the like section that I like had ordered based on want and wasn't just like a general like category of style of games or whatever, is Metro Exodus.
Oh,
okay.
It is
really?
in fact the oldest game on this section of the list.
Huh.
I own the rest of this series.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think they've given out these games in various ways so many times. I'm always surprised when I find someone who hasn't played one yet.
So, when I first got a PC back in 2010, I think, like a proper PC that I could play games on. Let me be a little bit more specific. I was looking at, well, what games can I play? The games that, I haven't played or haven't seen on console. And one of the games that popped up for me and caught my attention was the Metro games.
Really?
And
Not to be mean to them, I'm just surprised that they stood out at all.
I don't know. I don't really know how they ended up being what popped up for it. Uh, like I don't remember what made that possible, but they just were one of the games that just happened to pop up when I was browsing through games on YouTube and Twitter and game review sites and things like that. And I watched some gameplay for them, and I'm like, hey, this looks kind of fun. I'm kind of here for it. And I was looking for things like specifically that kind of helped with making it feel like I was playing on a PC as opposed to like playing just another game on my console because I wanted to feel like I was actually using my PC, because it's my first time having like a gaming PC. And I just remember like there were things in there that I was just like, oh, yeah, I couldn't do that like on uh console. So I was just like, cool, I'm here for it. So I picked up those games and I've never finished one of them, but I have all of them but Exodus.
No, that's fair.
That ends this section that's basically actually in order. Everything in this next section of my list is just like anime and JRPGs for the most part.
Cool, because that only took an hour.
Yeah.
Um I'm gonna kind of just go
Yeah, go nuts, man.
rapid fire. Yeah, if something pops up that y'all want to talk about, y'all just call it out
I
to
know
me.
there's exactly one that I will
Um,
have comment on. Because I learned
Alright.
some more about it today.
No, okay. So starting off with Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, followed by Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes. The next three are the Atelier Ryza games. Thank you, I think, Aqua,
yeah, it's
for
about what I expected. I'm gonna be honest.
for showing me another anime RPG game where I'm just like, oh, this looks cool. Great, thanks. Dragon Quest 11, because I've never actually played a Dragon Quest game, and it's the most recent and looks pretty good.
What's the other popular one? I think people say to start at 8. I forget. It's been too long, and I, like you, have not played them.
Next, Tokyo Xanadu EX. They're making a new Tokyo Xanadu, and when I saw bits about it, I'm like, oh, that looks really cool. And so I threw the first one on my list because I'm like, I'm one of those people that likes to play the entire series if I can.
It's got to be okay because Toa Herschel, who is not called Toa Herschel in that game, makes an appearance.
True.
So I'm down.
True. Digimon World Next Order, because Digimon, heck yeah. Octopath Traveler 2.
Wait, I thought you played both of those games.
I played the first one on Switch back in the day, but I didn't want to pick up 2 on my Switch because it came out on PC at launch, and I'm just one of those people that I like to own a series all in one place if I can. So I have both.
That's fair. No, that's entirely understandable.
So I have both of them here. Star Ocean, the second story R. Ender Lilies, Quietest of the Nights, then Ender Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist.
I don't know either of those games.
There's Metroidvania?
Metroidvania.
Yeah,
Yep, they're more
it's
Metroidvanias.
kind of like fucking you just mentioned it, Silk Song, but
Yeah.
but spirits and shit.
Interesting.
Yeah. And Ender Lilies got very, very positive reviews when it came out in 2021. And then Ender Magnolia was announced and went into early access. I think it was at SGF. Maybe it was earlier than that. It had to be earlier than that. It was back in March somewhere. And it went into early access on Steam, and it's gotten even more positive reviews.
Well, that's
And
good.
I was just like, yeah, sure. Looks good. I like the atmosphere to the games from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This next one, I don't know anything about it. Don't remember anything about it. But it was an anime RPG, and so I just threw it in here with the
Oh
rest of them.
God.
It's called Agarist: Generation of War, or Generations of
Yeah,
War.
I've seen a couple people play this game. The way it's always been explained to me is essentially Fate, not Fate. God damn it. Fire Emblem. Is it Awakening? Is the one with the generational
Yep.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it's that, but deeper.
Oh, well then I'll probably like it.
Is the
That might have been why I added it
I
to
would
my
assume
list.
so. I hope that's true, and I'm not spreading lies.
by deeper is the family tree a circle?
Stop that.
God, I hope not.
The little picture slideshows makes it definitely look like that style of game, at least like gameplay.
Okay.
Next is Silent Hope, followed by Residents of Fate.
Yes.
Me and Dalit talked about this, I think, off cast one time. This is a really cool, really solid RPG that I played back on.
It super is.
Yeah, back on PS3, but it had the ever so unfortunate luck of releasing on the exact same day as Final Fantasy 13.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
when an RPG releases the same day as the new main entry in one of the biggest RPG series in history, well, let me tell you what's going to get overlooked.
Unlucky.
Yeah, it didn't have a chance. It's really fun though, and it's super dynamic.
Yeah, it's really fun. I just stumbled upon it when I worked at GameStop, and I'm like, this looks cool. Picked it up, and I played it. Never finished it, but I played it, and I was like, oh, this is really good. I like this, and I don't remember what made me like think about it one day, and I looked it up and I saw it on Steam, and I'm like, heck yes, threw it on my list because I'm like, I want to actually go through and finish this game because I loved it so much. There's a couple games from like that time period I would like to finish, but I don't. This was the only one from that was on Steam. So next up, Chrono Trigger and then Chrono Cross. I never played either of these games.
Obvious.
I never played these games.
Really?
Never played them.
These are like classic.
I know. These are some of the like few classic RPGs I've never played. Like excluding the Dragon Quest games, these are some of the big ones I've never played.
Do you know how to remedy that, Matt, on playing them?
No.
Emulate them.
No. There's also rumored mills that they're going to be doing a remake of these games. So.
Yeah, that rumor gets thrown around literally every single
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
I think it's just
So-
cope at this point.
I'm kind of thinking the same thing, but I know I want to play the originals, even if they do end up getting remade. So they're on here. They're not horribly expensive. I'll pick them up sometime.
Sounds about right.
Next up is a game called Chained Echoes. Can't tell you much about it. I just watched Pete play it. Looked fun. Threw it on here.
Which Pete? That Pete?
Yeah. Premiere 2 Pete.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it was him I watched play it. Next up is Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster.
Okay.
Then the Caligula Effect 2, because our friend Kobe recommended it.
Yeah. Just skip one.
Yep, just skip one. He explained it to me, and I said, okay, yep, just skipping one. Next is Sea of Stars. Here's Persona 5 Royal.
Yep.
Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. Eternites.
Man, it's such a good game, but I don't know why they shot themselves in the foot. Instead of just getting him to re-record all the lines, they had
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
what is his name? Grant George? I think his name is Grant George. They record only the lines that weren't already recorded for, and he doesn't sound anything like Troy. Oh man, it drives me. It made that game unplayable for me.
I remember this conversation when this first came out. Yeah.
I don't love Grant as an actor, but he would have been fine if it was just him all the way through. Or Get Back Troy, who they evidently didn't contact, but I don't know that that's necessarily true. I think I think he has someone who takes his calls for him, and his agent shot them down. But that's just me.
Could be.
Regardless, yeah, it's worth playing. Just I can't believe I'm the one saying it. Do it in Japanese.
Fair. I've played it before. I just never finished it, so it's one of those things. So it's just like, if I'm gonna actually finish it, pick it up here, finish it.
Fair.
So following that was Eternites, then Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age, Final Fantasy 6 because I don't own it anymore somehow.
Pixel
so
remaster or
I think it's
mobile
a Pixel
port?
You
remaster.
might as well at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harvestella, then the Diofield Chronicles.
God, that is such a
then
that game was such a shame. The Deerfield Chronicles.
yeah, I remember watching you play it.
Everyone played Harvestella and they liked that one, so you're playing
Oh,
at
yeah.
least one of them will be good at least.
Well, you'll see that the next game is also like the previous two, triangle strategy.
Hey.
Right.
Just a group of games from that particular Square studio.
Mhm.
Tactics Ogre Reborn.
Good.
Near Automata, and then Near Replicant.
Okay.
Play that in the reverse order, but okay.
I've never played a Near game.
Replicant is the first one. Automata is the second one, even though it's technically not the second one. But we're not going to talk about endings.
Yeah, it's true.
Replicant is first.
Yeah.
Is what I just want to say. Technically, Automata's should technically be considered like the fourth game of the sequel to Replicant.
We should stop talking.
But because
next
your
up is
guitar is a madman.
Next one is one that I happened to stumble across on when I was adding a bunch of fighting games, which we'll get to later.
Hey, let's
Tekken 8 and
go.
Street Fighter 6.
Is Ninja Gaiden Master Collection.
Oh,
They
shit.
I have all three of the Ninja Gaiden games in one little bundle on Steam, and I loved the Ninja Gaiden game.
Black on
So-
Steam?
The
Ninja Gaiden Black? Is
the
that what's called?
it's the Master Collection. It's all three of them.
Oh, okay. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah, it's all three of them together. So I played two back when I was younger on the 360, and I absolutely loved it. And I was just like, man, I wanted to play them. I kind of wanted to play them
Fuck
again.
no,
And I found them on here, and
I'm gonna look it up myself now.
Yep, Ninja Gaiden Master Collection.
Ninja
It'll come up as three different games,
Gaiden.
but
Yeah,
yeah, it doesn't matter which one you click on. It's a bundle. It's all three of them.
right.
So Ninja Gaiden. It's Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and then Ninja Gaiden. I don't remember what the third one's called, but Black is, if I'm not mistaken, that's Sigma. I think that's the first one. Next is the highest fighting game on this list
Hey.
because it is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Okay,
Um,
fair.
Right. That fighting game. Yeah,
I
that
was gonna
checks out.
say it
That makes
better be
perfect
Tekken 8
sense.
for dollar's sake.
No, this is
No, I would have understood.
this one is because this is the last Dragon Ball Z game that I think Toriyama got to make any comments on before his passing. So
Oh yeah, fair.
and it's a big, from everything we've seen, it's a big love letter fighting game to the Tenkaichi series or Budokai series.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So yeah, I'm just like, I played so much of those when I was younger. I just want to get this in honor of him. So yeah, this one's up here a decent ways because of that. The next couple games, like 3-ish. No, it's okay. So it's two kind of out of place games, and then there's a little bit of a pattern. I got It Takes Two, and then Sonic Frontiers.
Okay.
After that, it's a bunch of survival, crafting, city building, farmer style games.
Here comes all the Sims DLC.
fair. Yes.
Here is starting it off is one that honestly should be up in that very first section, Light No Fire. I'm excited about that. Followed by Manor Lords, then Enshrouded, then a game called Bellwright, then Age of Mythology Retold, Myth of Empires, Aura, History Untold, Rust, Ark, Survival Ascended.
Is that the new one?
Yes, the new one. That's the new one.
Yeah, okay.
The one using like the newest Unreal Engine and stuff.
Right.
7 Days to Die, Nightingale, Farthest Frontier, and then that's the end of the like crafting survival farm games. For now, anyways. Next is, I don't know what to call this section, but it's basically just kind of random games. There was a thought process when I made it, but I think the first two in this section kind of throw it off a little bit. But so we'll say two odd ones and then a bunch of just random games. The Mega Man Battle Network collection has got a part 1 and part 2, so it's like the first 6 games and then the second 6 games. And I loved the Battle Network games, so when they announced this, I got really excited, and yeah, so I have them on my list here because I like Battle Network.
Fair.
And now we get into kind of just a bunch of random games for the most part. There's not like a real theme here for a little bit.
Understandable.
Got the Thaumaturge. Know nothing about it.
I've not heard of this. Okay.
I know nothing about it. It just happened to pop up for me on Steam one day. Like, just, we recommend this to you. I'm like, what's this? I clicked on it and I'm like, all right, looks kind of cool. Added it to my wishlist.
Magic.
So, there you go. Yeah, the Thaumaturge. It's a turn-based combat RPG. Came out this year. There you go.
Fair enough.
Dynasty Warrior Origins, Inoitria, The Last Song, Ruined King, a League of Legends story.
I can highly recommend that. I may not be the biggest League stan, but their Riot Forge stuff was mostly good.
I've heard a lot of good recommendations for that one, that's for sure. Unknown 9 Awakening, Returnal, Darkest Dungeon 2, Middle Earth, Duology, whatever this compound pack is called, Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War. It's a
Okay, I was gonna ask if that was the Shadow games.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
makes sense.
yeah. I have Shadow of War here, but like that's just as a reminder for the Duology pack because I couldn't add that one to my list for some reason. Because sometimes Steam lets you add like the bundled versions to your list, and sometimes it doesn't. So it's weird. It's inconsistent like that. This one's been here for a while. New World. I have New World on my wish list.
I'm so sorry.
I am also so sorry.
I don't know why. I don't think I'd ever actually play it, but I threw it on my wish list.
I'm gonna be honest. Isn't that game like 1 foot in the grave? Like if you don't pick that up and start playing it now, it might actually
That's
just
fine.
not exist.
Then it gets to leave the list without me ever having to spend money.
You know what? I appreciate that.
If you want to play an Amazon game, you can play Throne and Liberty when it comes out.
No, you should definitely wait for Blue Protocol.
Anyways,
because that's definitely coming out and not at all canceled, or I guess killed because it already came
out. Blue Protocol, man. If only anime MMOs were actually good.
If only. Next is Immortal Realms Vampire Wars.
Okay, that's just a Matt thing.
That was just one of those. That's another one of those random ones. Steam was like, hey, check this out. And I was like, vampire turn-based
game
strategy. Okay. Threw it on the list. Like, Steam's got my number, let me tell you what. Then First Berserker Kazan, Halo Infinite, like the campaign. Like, so. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I own the rest of the Halo games.
No, I understand. You've been through the rest of it. You might as well.
But I need them to release 5 on PC first. Which they still haven't done. It perpetually is stuck on the original Xbox One, and that's where it is. So 3 343 or whoever I got to talk to. Go ahead and release it as part of the
Yeah,
Master Collection,
Probably
please.
fucking
Just
343.
do it. Next is Atlas Fallen, Reign of Sand. I think Reign of Sand is the new update.
Oh,
Atlas Fallen, yeah.
yeah, Atlas Fallen. I'd forgotten that existed.
Yep, just so many games have come out recently in the last couple years. As my list will show you, that it's just so many games come out, man. It's just so hard to keep up.
Yes.
Another one, Immortals of Avium. Next, then after that, I have Wolong Fallen Dynasty. Then I have Greedfall. Then The Quarry. I'm surprised neither of you said anything about The Quarry.
Wait, isn't the quarry
I
the?
don't have much to say on the three
Yeah,
games that are attached to each other.
I think I've just seen so much of it because everyone fucking played it. I'm just like, yeah, sure.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of it for me as well. Like everybody streamed it, but I never got to see the story from beginning to end. And I missed so
Right.
many parts. And I was just like, God dang it, I want to know how the story ends. So I threw it on my wish list. So eventually I'll be able to find out how it ends. Viewfinder, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Here's a fun little bit. This is the only two Resident Evil games I haven't played. Resident Evil 7 and 8.
Fail.
So Biohazard
Yeah.
and Village. Haven't played either of those. So
Mhm.
they're here.
I mean, if you like jump scare games, you'll fucking love 7 because that's all it is.
That's the game. That is the game.
I don't particularly care for those, but like the story of 7 is semi-relevant to Village.
Oh, it's not semi. It's very relevant, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
It's
I'm just
incredibly
saying, like,
relevant.
if
Yeah, I know.
you do or do not like the gameplay of 7, I'm. Can you somewhat semi skip and go straight to 8? Or at least get a synopsis summary?
I mean, you probably
You could, but you would actually be missing
Right.
a big chunk.
you probably could, yeah. But
I just
rather force myself to play through 7.
I just
and
it's
get the story.
I've watched 7 quite a few times, and I just go, and every time a jump scare happens, I just go like, why? It's so fucking predictable. Like a lot of them is, and like the actual like gameplay when like I think it's Jack, the main guy who's like following you around. It's like, okay, so that's Resident Evil, but what's with all this like shitty jump scares? Is it because it's first person? Like it's just, I don't know. I just find it boring.
And this is why 4 is the best.
Yeah. Following Village is the HD touch up to the original Resident Evil.
Okay, yeah. Is that good?
Right.
Because
Okay,
Yeah.
because
I watched Pete play this as well because I didn't know they did an HD touch up until I watched him play it, and I'm like, oh, cool, HD touch up of original Resident Evil. I'm here for it.
you almost made a Jill sandwich. I forgot how
Shut
the
up.
fucking quote goes, but oh come on, you fucking love Barry.
Barry is pretty damn good though.
Next is Spiritfarer. I played this with Ali. I really enjoy these style.
I'm about to say you've played this. Yeah, I remember that. I remember you two playing it.
Yeah, me and Ali played it together. I just kind of wanted to own it so that one day, if I ever wanted to play it again, I could. And
Sure.
then it's Sonic and Shadow Generations
Fuck yes.
because Sonic, yay.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at that game. I literally said, look, I'm not interested in another Sonic game unless you make another Sonic Generations. And I see Shadow, so that's not what this is. Boom, Sonic and Shadow. You got me. You got me. Well played.
I'm still
Got him.
waiting for a remaster or remake of 06.
Get out.
Why? Why does everyone just hate it? I mean, like, yeah,
That game is actively very bad. Like forget the story, which is also questionable. The actual game is so bad.
but
You think to yourself, it couldn't possibly be that bad. People are just overreacting. And then you play it and you're like, oh no, oh my god, it's so bad.
yeah, but like, you play Sonic, right? And then you get to that part where you turn into Super Sonic. And then I don't remember what game it was, but you played Sonic and Shadow, and then you turn into Super Sonic and Super Shadow. And then there's this game where you can play as Super Sonic, Super Shadow, and Super Silver. How's that not cool? Yeah.
Silver. Yeah, he's a real I don't care for that character. I don't
No
care for that
one
character.
fucking does. I'm pretty sure even Sega
Goddamn.
was like,
I don't even think he's the most
Sil-"
popular character from his timeline. I genuinely think Blaze is more interesting.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VIII Remastered is next. Then I have Cult of the Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It's the only one in the newer Tomb Raider trilogy they released around that few year period that I'm missing. Pillars of Eternity 2. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, the only Elder Scrolls game I don't own on PC.
Bruh. Isn't that game like just 15 fucking bucks?
It's currently
if it's even, I think the game should be like $7 tops.
It's currently on sale for $4.
Matt.
Yeah, checks out.
Matt.
I expendable money is tight, dog. Next up is Sea of Thieves. Then I have...
You can play that on Steam. I mean, I guess it makes sense that you can play it on Steam. I just associate that so much with Xbox and ergo Game Pass. That
isn't that game also dying, or am I fucking crazy?
Not that I'm aware of.
They've done a good job to stop the ship from sinking.
It's not like as big as other redemption stories out there, but it's gotten a pretty good one. Like it's been completely...
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Then I have Ghost Runner and Ghost Runner 2.
Okay, based.
Yes. I haven't played 2 yet, but I want to.
Then
I haven't played either, but they look good, so...
Yeah, I've watched gameplay, and that's how I knew I wanted it. Then I have Detroit Become Human and Beyond Two Souls.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Then I got one because...
It makes sense after The Quarry.
Yeah. Then I have one because of... I was just happened to look at what James was playing in Call one night before D&D, and I was like, this looks fun. SD Gundam G Generations Crossrays.
Yeah, Crossrays. Yeah, no, hard appreciate that.
Yeah,
hard agree.
Then I have War Tales. Then here's the original Dragon's Dogma. And then here, it's Kingdom Hearts. All 3 of them, since they were added to Steam.
I'm legitimately surprised you actually mentioned them, because I thought you were going to fucking not mention them and I would have to call you out on it.
I'm just saying, you can buy the first one and get all the games worth having. Just saying.
Yeah, but
and you can mod them.
As we've said in this episode alone, I just like to own all of my series in one place.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Fair.
Look, man.
To be honest, when it first came out, the deal to get literally everything was very enticing.
I'm pretty sure the deal is still up.
No, I think it's gone.
But
yeah, I think it has gone. There might be a secondary one now.
Yeah, you can absolutely look forward to Kingdom Hearts being on sale because it's not on fucking ESG anymore. Thank fuck for that.
Yeah, it's here. I might never actually pick them up. Unless I just suddenly get this massive craving to play Kingdom Hearts 2. Otherwise, I probably will never pick them up.
Sorry.
That me, I often get a massive cravings to play Kingdom Hearts. But when I say it, I specifically mean
one
Kingdom Hearts. Like,
here's
the first one. Yeah.
Here's a few more survival craft games. Subnautica Below Zero, Raft, The Isle, and Stranded Deep.
Stranded Deep just sounds like Subnautica, but again.
Kind of.
Okay, so...
Okay.
So I will never play Subnautica, but I will buy them just to support the devs, because I think the idea of what they're doing is pretty fucking cool.
Valid. I understand.
Yeah.
For context for Dalit, who is probably confused, he has thalassophobia, so he can't do.
No, we've talked about it.
Okay, yeah. I just thought you may have forgotten.
Yeah.
Nope, you are blameless. I also don't fuck with the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is where some shooter games enter my list.
Oh my god, Call of Duty, let's fucking go.
It was only a matter of time.
Delta Force Hawk Ops, which we recently found out about.
Oh yeah.
Ready or Not, because that looked like a blast when I watched some people play it. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Okay.
And then Doom, Doom Eternal, and Doom the Dark Ages.
All right, based.
Okay. Yeah.
Next is Tom Clancy's The Division, and then The Division 2. I don't know why I would actually pick up The Division 1, but I just threw both of them on my list. Then next is, let's see, Exoprimal.
Okay.
I don't know. I put that on here because I'm thinking hopefully one day maybe it'll get better. Then I have out of the shooters already. Then I have,
You don't even have fucking Splinter Cell?
there's more down at the bottom somewhere.
Alright.
And then it's quite a bit of like indie games. So got Tales of Kanzur Redemption Reapers, Unpacking, which until I actually get a Steam Deck, I'm not picking that up because that's a game to play on the go. Child of Light, I Am Alive, Journey, Neon White, Sifu, Wilder Myth, Winterborough, Undertale, Battle Aces, the Henry Stickmin Collection, Akane. Okay, and then now we're getting into a territory of games that I've owned on previous systems before. I got The Witcher 3, followed by Soul Hackers 2, Various Day Life, Persona 4 Golden. Then I have Man Eater. Then here's one my niece recommended to me and I thought it sounded amusing, so I threw it on here, called The Wilds. Then I have Edge of Eternity, Wanted Dead, Hi-Fi Rush, Hitman World of Assassination, Orcs Must Die 3.
Orcs Must Die is a surprisingly competent game series.
Yeah. Orcs Must Die 2 was the first ever game I bought on Steam. So.
It was my first ever gift on Steam. Yeah, I gifted it fairly early on.
Here's a couple like newer games mixed into this next bench, upcoming games. Slitterhead.
Oh yeah. God, that game was weird.
Yeah, it was. South of Midnight, Sons of the Forest, Usual June, The Rogue Prince of Persia.
Yeah. Is that not out yet?
It's out. It's on early access out, but it's out.
Okay. Yeah, I thought as much.
Hitman Absolution. And then we get into those shooter games that come out every year.
Hey.
Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops Cold War, Battlefield 2042. Okay, that's the end of those.
Yes. The modern shooter suite.
Alright, yeah. So usually I give shit on Call of Duty and all that, but apparently they're bringing back round-based zombies in Call of Duty 6, so fucking, yeah, they get a pass on that.
So, I want to point out, just a slight intervention as we are over halfway through the list now.
Holy fuck.
Half.
I don't think, because my Steam wishlist is so long, I don't think it loads every game.
Oh no.
Every time. Because there's a couple games that I'm like, I know they're on my list, but I haven't seen them. Like when I said Subnautica and then Subnautica Below Zero, Subnautica wasn't there, but I know Subnautica is on my list and is above Sub-Zero. And just now, as I finished the Call of Duty Black Ops suite, I saw that the game that's after them was like in the middle of them for some reason, and I'm like, I wouldn't stand that. I'm too OCD. So some things have been shuffled every time it loads too, because there's just so many games on here.
Even Steam's calling you out.
Shut up.
I'm
Anyways, next. Next is a handful of games that I call party games with friends, just because That's exactly what they are, more or less.
Uh-huh.
Got Hasbro's Battleship, Golf with Your Friends, Monopoly Plus, and Trivia Tricks, as well as Dead by Daylight.
I'm surprised you did not have. Oh, what's the game that you play as like cute furry little creatures and you like try to knock each other out of like the fucking arena?
Oh, Party
and all
Animals?
that? Yeah.
I haven't been sold on that one yet.
I don't know. I think it's kind of cute to say the least.
I think like I'd just rather play Mario Party.
Fair.
Or the totally not Mario Party, which I don't know the name of, so I couldn't add it to my list.
Mm-hmm.
Next is, I don't have to say it. You'll pick up on it real quick when I start reading game names. After the first two, anyways. I got Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, the Devil May Cry HD Collection. Then I have Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Neo 2, Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, Dark Souls 3.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Can you go all the way back to Dark Souls and then go from there again?
Dark Souls.
Wait, he just did them in order.
Yeah, Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 2 Scholars of the First Sin, Dark Souls 3.
Okay,
Yes.
you can drop Dark Souls 2 and just keep Scholar of the First Sin.
Nope.
Oh, he knows.
I know.
We've had this discussion before.
Of course.
I have no idea why he insists on putting them all on this list.
I mean, I can't really because I also have that as well. I have both Dark Souls 2 and Scholar of the First Sin as well.
Guess what? When and if they ever release Bloodborne and Demon Souls from PlayStation Purgatory, they'll go right here with them.
That's not happening.
Yeah, I know.
That's not happening.
But if they do,
this is where they go.
Yep.
Then I have Warriors Orochi 4, Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate Definitive Edition. Then I have two games which the name sounds really bad, but they're just really amusing little anime RPGs. Conception and Conception 2. Couple strange ones up here next. Supermarket Simulator, Project Zomboid, Kunitsugami, Path to the Goddess, Power Wash Simulator. Then I have Divinity, Original Sin, first one. Grim Dawn.
Wait, you don't have the first one?
I don't have the first one, no.
Oh.
Grim Dawn, Frostpunk 2, Pathfinder Kingmaker Enhanced Edition, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13-2, Final Fantasy Lightning Returns.
I was gonna actually just mention that before you got to fucking Type 0, but you've already answered my question, so thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil Revelations, Resident Evil Revelations 2, Resident Evil 4 2005 edition, Left 4 Dead 2, because I don't actually own Left 4 Dead 2 anymore.
Oh my god, Matt.
Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6. Yep, I don't own
a lot of people
2.
will say you can drop 6, but like if you're gonna do a fucking story playthrough, you're gonna need 6, even though it's bad.
I didn't mind 6 that much.
And it is bad.
No, in terms of story, that it's pretty. Yeah.
I didn't mind 6 that much, personally. I thought it was better than 5 in that regard.
Disappointed.
No, 5 is great. Fucking Wesker?
5 is great.
Wesker carries.
I think 5's good
Kinda
too.
Does though.
I think 5's. I mean, Wesker's one of my favorite characters. I think 5's good too. I think I enjoyed 6 more from a narrative standpoint. It's just like
No.
5 was just so like adrenaline pumping the entire time through. It was just like it's not quite what I want. So I don't know. I think the gameplay just took away from 5 so much for me. Maybe. I don't know. It's been so long. It's been so long. But Resident Evil is Resident Evil. 5 and 6 are probably the lowest point of the series for sure. Next is Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, Far Cry 5, Far Cry 6, Far Cry Primal, Far Cry New Dawn.
Jesus fucking Christ. Wait, where's 1 and 2? Wait, is 1 and 2 on Steam?
1 and 2 is on Steam.
Do you own
I
it?
think I do. That or they're further down for some reason. I don't know.
Right.
Halo Wars Definitive Edition
Mm-hmm.
because I liked Halo Wars, and the only way to get Halo Wars 2 on PC is to buy it through the like Xbox app. And I just said,
Yes.
that's not happening. I'm gonna wait till you finally put it on Steam, Microsoft. I'm watching you. Screw you. You're not getting any more of my money in any direct route as possible. Then I forget this game even exists, but it's on my list, so I remember it because of it. Gears Tactics.
I routinely forget that this game exists.
Yeah, same. Marvel's Midnight Sun is next. Then I have these are 2 Square Enix games that I've never even heard of, but they have like good reviews, and I was like, oh, this seems interesting, I guess. It's called Voice of Cards, Isle of Dragon Roar, and Voice of Cards, The Forsaken Maiden.
The
Like,
fuck?
it's like a tabletop card battler RPG game, and I think it's by Square. So
Ew.
I was just like, I've never even heard of these or seen these, but sure. The next one was one when it was announced. I think this was SGF. I think I mentioned it when I did that episode. I instant on the list. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. Let's go.
Hell
All right,
yes.
yep.
Let's go. 2 random Halo games: Spartan Assault, Spartan Strike. Don't even know what they are, but threw them on the list. Biomorph. I don't know. It's on the list. I don't even remember adding it to the list, but here it is. It's a Metroidvania. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Oh, here's the little visual novel section. Got Witch on the Holy
God.
Night, Stella of the End, Fate's Day Night Remastered, Steins Gate.
Yep, those are visual novels.
I do forget
Mhm.
about Steins Gate being a visual novel. Right.
And then the section that Dalit inspired. Literally,
This is my fault.
yep, this literally exists because of Dalit. Like, none of these games, okay, well, a few of these games, but most of these games did not exist on my list until the episode that will already be out by this point, where we talked about Evo, and Dalit just, made that honest plea that he wants us to play fighting games, and I felt called out as a friend. So I added a bunch of fighting games to my wish list on Steam.
Again, bullying works, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So starting from the top, just gonna go through these fighting games. I got
Mekanik.
Melty Blood, Type Lumina, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, Bleach, Rebirth of Souls, Demon Slayer.
Okay, hold on. That was the game I expected to hear a lot earlier about. So found out the company making the Bleach game.
Oh yeah.
Turns out it's the Senran Kagura guys.
Oh
So,
shit! Really?
Do with that information what you want.
Yo, let's go.
All right, you all are excited. Good. I didn't know how people would react to that. My
Senran
initial
Kagura
reaction
is
was,
fucking best.
"Oh, that's unfortunate." But apparently, I don't know shit. I mean, Nat clearly knows what's up.
I got no idea.
I evidently have to play at least one of these games because people seem to be excited that it's these people working on a Bleach game. My immediate gut instinct was, "Oh no, that's shovelware. This really will just be another throwaway anime game." But
Yeah, probably.
maybe I'll pick up one of the Senran Kagura games, figure out how it plays, see if it's okay.
But I thought
don't
you
have a
didn't
whole lot
like
of-
playing as fucking children no more, Dolet.
I don't. And I've never played a Senran Kagura game. I don't really want to, but I already don't have a whole lot of faith in this Bleach game because of the way they decided to go.
Right.
I have to at least see if the company inspires confidence.
Fair. I mean, it was Bleach. I like Bleach. It said it's a fighter. Threw it on there.
God, Bleach needs a character action game. Just pick fucking 5 characters and make a really good action game. Like, honestly, fucking Ichigo, Rukia, Grimjo, Ulquiorra, and...
Byakuya.
No, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
And
Chad?
I want
No.
to say Aizen, but I don't think Aizen's interesting enough. I mean, he's super rich. Actually, no, Aizen, but specifically like actually end of end of series Eisen, or I guess end of his arc Eisen, Butterfliesen, if you will.
Butterfliesen is what he's called in the community. Yeah, Bleach. I like Bleach. I don't know anything about Senran and Kagura, so okay. Apparently, that's good news according to Nat.
According to that,
I mean, it could be good news, it could be bad news, like who fucking knows? Because they pretty much stopped making Senran Kagura games because of just the censorship from Sony, and they were like, well, fuck this. So, again, it's a very toss-up.
Continuing the fighting games, got Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles, Jujutsu Kaisen, Cursed Clash, Naruto X Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connection, Under Night, In Birth 2, Sis Celeste, Guilty Gear, Strive, King of Fighters 15, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Soul Calibur 6, Dead or Alive 6, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, The King of Fighters 13, Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 11, Mortal Kombat 10,
Jesus fucking Christ.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z. The next one is actually not a fighting game, Dalit informed me, but it's here and I just didn't move it. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. That one's not a fighting game either, but there's a bunch of Naruto games, so I left it here. Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, Ultimate Ninja Storm 2, Ultimate Ninja Storm, Ultimate Ninja Storm Revolution, Injustice 2. Bunch of fighting games. There you go, Dalit.
that is a bunch of fighting games. That is so many fighting games. That's all of the fighting games on Steam that are of AAA caliber, and some that are not.
It is. I literally just clicked on the fighting tag and just clicked add to wishlist, add to wishlist, add to wishlist.
That's you made a choice.
Yep.
I was like, I don't know about most of these games. I'm like, I've played a few of these in the past, but I'm just like, I don't know fighting games. Which ones I end up picking up, we'll see as when I actually end up, being able to expend the money to just pick up some. So here's a couple games that I don't have a huge, like these are very low for a very good reason, and that's the 3 One Piece games on Steam: One Piece Odyssey, One Piece World Seeker, and One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. Here's a game that I already own, I think the better version of, but I put it on my wish list because I wasn't sure at the time. And that's Fable Anniversary. Then I have WWE 2K23 and WWE 2K24. Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. Kingdom New Lands. DayZ. Kingdom Two Crowns. Divinity 2, Developer's Cut. Hitman Contracts, Hitman 2 Silent Assassin, Hitman Blood Money, Hitman Codename 47, Found Far Cry and Far Cry 2.
Oh.
Yep, here they are, right here. Here's one of only 2 games on my wish list that has a mostly negative overall review. Should probably remove it from my wish list, but it's called Undead Incorporated.
I have never heard of this.
Don't know what that is.
This next game, it says it's a visual novel. I've never heard of it. I don't remember adding it to my wish list, but here it is. It's called Muv Love.
I don't even want to know.
It says it has mechs in it.
You sure?
I don't know, man. I don't remember adding this to my list. I don't know what this is, but here it is. At least I remember a lot of the things I add. Don't remember that one. Then I have Tears of Metal, Rogue Legacy, Sands of Salazar, Stone Shard, Signy, All Guns Blazing, Halls of Torment.
Okay, Halls of Torment is pretty good. If you like Vampire Survivor, it's kind of like that. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it to one of you guys before, but it's like if you like the like OG Diablo 1 or 2 like aesthetic, but like not playing as Diablo and you're playing Vampire Survivor. That's what Halls of Torment is.
Yeah, you told me, and I think
Yeah.
that's when I added it to my
Oh,
wish
it's
list.
this one. Okay.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So I added it to my list when you told me about it.
Yeah.
It was so down. It was so far down, mostly because I couldn't remember what it was. And
Well, bump
now
it
that I'm-
up, Matt.
oh, yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I remember what it is. So I should probably put it like with the indie section or something.
Yeah.
Then it's PAX Day. Honestly, don't think I'll ever pick this up, but I put it on here in case I change my mind.
Well, it's free, isn't it? Or am I
No.
crazy? No?
No, $40.
No fucking.
You thought PAX Day was gonna be free?
Probably because I played the beta, so I just. Oh.
Need for Speed Unbound, which is apparently a really bad game, but I wanted a Need for Speed game on my wish list because I hadn't played one in a while. I searched Need for Speed on Steam. This was the most recent one to come out, I think, when I searched it. So I threw it on my wish list, and then yeah, a lot of people told me it wasn't good, so it just ended up down here.
Yeah, because it's not burned out or underground.
And then the last three games. Dungeons 4, Dungeons 3, and Dungeons 2.
Fair.
Very generic.
And that's it. That's my Steam wish list.
Holy shit, that was only like 2 hours.
Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
I told y'all.
Well, you know, I didn't believe you. Not for an instant.
Yeah,
I think we were going to
same.
be here for another 2 hours.
I was like,
Yeah,
there's no way you guys are going to want to comment on every single one of these games.
Yeah, we
It's
said
just y'all.
300. I'm
That's
like,
fair.
oh, okay, this is going to be a
That's fair.
3-hour ordeal. Fuck this.
Oh, for sure. At least.
I was like, there's no way y'all are going to comment on every single one of these games. And like I said, the list is so large. There's a couple of them that I think didn't load.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
there was like 2 or 3. Only like 2 or 3. For the most part, they're all here. I'd have like there's only been like 2 or 3 that I know that weren't on here. So yeah, like I said, y'all can't comment about everything. I knew y'all couldn't comment about everything.
All right,
I mean, we might have been able to, but it's a real good thing we didn't.
yeah. So, Dole, what are we going to
What's up?
rate the list?
Yeah,
out of 10?
y'all have heard the full list. Roast it, rate it. Let's hear it. Go on.
I don't know about roasted, but man, there's so many games, and you really you have a plan in your brain to get all of these games. Plus, this is a living thing. It's only going to get bigger.
Oh
Mhm.
god.
That's the thing.
It's
My
like a-
paltry little list of 16, which I believe has been upgraded to somewhere in the 20s, feels much more doable now that I've listened to yours. Now, I mean, I didn't even plan on buying all the ones on my list. I was just interested in some of them.
Hmm.
Now, I might actually just be able to clean that thing off to zero by comparison. I'll be able to do that in a couple of years. You might be able to do it before, I don't know, you die.
Maybe.
Maybe. Big true on that. So,
I like
Uh,
video games, man. All right, sue me.
The list itself wasn't actually too bad. I mean, all three of us pretty much have like similar tastes in video games. Obviously, there's one or two like genres that we more go into, but like generally because we all have the same taste, it wasn't really that bad. I thought I would be complaining a lot more of like, oh, this is just like I thought you were gonna just have some dog shit fucking games in there, but no, it's the only thing I would I know why you're doing it, Matt, don't get me wrong, but you can drop DS2 if you're gonna
Nope.
get Skull of First Sin. Yeah, I know.
I actually, because I've played both Scholar of the First Sin and regular DS2.
Yeah.
I owned them both back on my 360, I think it was back then. I preferred Dark Souls 2 to Scholar of the First Sin.
Nah, bro. If
Isn't
you
it
replayed it
mostly
now, you
identical?
would change your mind because I was in the exact same mindset. I'm like, oh no, base DS2 is way better than Skull of First Sin. Nah, like Yeah, the enemy placements is dog shit, but the actual like key item placements, because they did change those around in Scholar First Sin, is way better than fucking base DS2. Like holy shit.
Wait, hold on. Because DS2 is the one that I didn't play.
Mhm.
Well, actually, I didn't play 3 either, but I watched a lot of it. Aren't 2 and Scholar of the First Sin, couldn't you theoretically get the vanilla experience by bypassing all of What's His Nuts' talking points and just doing that? Like, isn't that the same game just with more? Am I missing something here?
Kind of. So with Scholar of the First Sin, they added extra enemies and changed spawn locations for enemies.
And
Ah,
change key item locations as well. I need to preface that because yeah.
but so it ends up being, so even if you like, say if you played Dark Souls 2 and then you went and played Scholar of the First Sin, you you could still, it would still kind of be like playing a new game in some ways, because while the maps might be the same, the enemy placement isn't going to be what you remember, and you're going to get caught off guard by enemies that weren't there.
Yeah.
A notable thing in like the earlier maps was the like white knight guys that were like way more prevalent in some of the early maps in Scholar of the First Sin. Whereas there was only like one of them in the original Dark Souls 2.
There wasn't one. They were scattered among other locations, but like
I
in
meant like in
Hyde's
the earlier
Tower.
zones.
Oh yeah, but yeah, in Hyde's Tower, they're all literally just placed in the one fucking map, and if you defeat Dragon Rider, they all come after you. They also put a wyvern next to the dragon slaying boss, and not next to the dragon rider boss, which is
A
yep,
choice.
yep, it's a choice.
But yeah, that's I like to think with my what my wish list shows is that I'm someone who just loves video games. Like I've played like a little bit of every genre out there. I like a lot of most genres, you know. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure I have my list is pretty all inclusive to genres out there. So,
fair
Um,
enough.
I didn't hear any racing games
You
or
heard
sports
one
games.
racing game.
Oh yeah, the Need for Speed.
I I think I didn't know what else to search when I went to add racing games on there. I added, and so I searched Need for Speed because I knew Need for Speed was a series I played and liked back when I was on my
Is
console, and that was all that really popped up. So
That makes me think that you like arcade racers over Sims, but I would still recommend the Forza series, specifically the Horizon series.
I see. I
Yeah.
was never a huge fan of Forza.
Yeah, because the base Forza game is boring as shit. I don't care what anyone says. The Horizon series is where they do fun nonsense. And that's where you'll get like the Hot Wheels DLC.
Fuck yeah.
Fair.
Hot Wheels
So
I'll give it.
Horizon, like Forza Horizon. It's very important that I specifically named the Horizon series.
hmm
Okay, I'll give this a consideration and look up. I might I might check
Hmm.
out whatever the most recent one of those is one day. So
I might actually recommend 4 because that's the one with it, the Hot Wheels DLC. Though 5 might have gotten it as well. I can't remember.
valid. That would make 4 the better choice.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm here for the Hot Wheels DLC.
Hmm.
No other
Uh,
no other remarks about my wish list?
do
And you
you
guys,
have the Batman Arkham stuff on Steam? Like, is that purchased for you?
I don't think I do.
Then you should add them.
I had them on my wish list at one point in time, but uh, they apparently had, when I added them to my wish list at this point in time. It's probably fixed by now. They had a huge like there was a huge issue with the PC ports of them. Like they just
Oh, okay.
did not work. They were just bug ridden and problematic. So I took them off because I was like, at the time, I still had all of my console copies and my console right there. So I was just like, all right, well then I'll just play
hmm
them over there. That's no big deal. I don't have that
Well,
like anymore. Like I don't have my console copies or anything anymore. And I think they've fixed all those issues by now. I would hope they fixed those issues.
Yeah. I can't say for the rest, but I did play one earlier this year, and I seem to have no issues. So I'm gonna say yes? Question mark?
Probably. I would have to assume. So yeah, maybe
Yeah,
I do need to add them on there to pick back up eventually. So, got nothing on your end, on it?
I mean, unless you're gonna suddenly start playing like Metal Gear games, I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, fuck it, just put it on your wish list. Who cares?
Considering my opinion of the person behind that series,
That's what I'm saying, right?
that's
Uh,
probably it's probably not.
I do not play as many. Like I would, if I had to put recommendations on your list, really what I would say is, if you haven't played World of Final Fantasy, you should.
I have.
It's not the best Final Fantasy by a long shot, but it's good. And barring that, play the other Supergiant games. I haven't played Pyre. Nothing against Pyre. I just managed to completely miss that game, so that needs to go on my list. But I can highly recommend Bastion and Transistor. I think everyone likes Bastion more. I really like Transistor.
I've heard
A
of
lot.
Bastion. I didn't realize that was made by Supergiant. That does make me more interested.
Yep.
Haven't heard of the other two. So I'll look into those. And yeah, I've played World of Final Fantasy. I like World of Final Fantasy, and I had debated on putting it on my wish list a couple times before, but it was really like, is that one that I really want to pick up and play again? I don't know, because I don't know if I ever would play it again.
I feel that. It's definitely worth playing through one time, though. Well, I guess technically two. It's whatever. It's worth going through the story once.
Yeah. It's one of those things. I just don't have a huge amount of patience for Pokemon style games anymore, I don't think. And that really is the feel that World of Final Fantasy kind of.
That is absolutely the feel of that game. You are fair and valid.
The exception to that being Digimon games. Digimon games always make themselves feel a little bit more unique, just maybe because it's Digimon and it's not just leveling them up. It's leveling them up, then digivolving them, then de-digivolving them, so you can digivolve them a different route. It makes it at least a little bit more interesting. So.
Sure. Other than that, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. If you want to get into a Castlevania mood,
I need to get the Castlevania games.
Yeah, I don't know what else to throw at you at this point, my guy.
I'm surprised you did not have any Yakuza games on.
Never had any interaction with that series ever.
Fair.
Oh, you know what? I actually do have one, because I don't think you picked it up. Maybe you did. Maybe I'm a liar. Did you pick up Fate Samurai Remnant?
Yes.
Never mind. I'm a liar. You didn't. Good job.
Well, let me rephrase. Shell gave it to me as a birthday gift last year.
That's what it was. Okay, fair enough.
I think that was my birthday gift from Shell last year. He gave me Samurai Remnant.
Then yeah, no, I genuinely, your list is like so fucking all encompassing. I don't know what to recommend.
See, I am a gamer. I play all the games.
Well, you certainly have them all on your wish list anyway.
Hey, I have at least one game of each of these genres in my library too. My library on Steam is 200 games exactly.
I don't know what my library is. Can I find that out really quick?
Yeah, just go to your library.
221, fair enough.
I have 200 games exactly. Another game that would be on my wish list, though not one I'm super excited to get, but like I would pick it up because I own the rest of the series on Steam already, but it's locked behind the Epic Game Store, so I'm waiting, is Alan Wake 2.
Yes, no, agreed. I came into Remedy through Max Payne back in the day and fell off very quickly. I recently played through Control. Spectacular game. Yeah. I don't necessarily know if you'd be into it.
I might.
Spectacular game.
I think I
and I do need to play through Alan Wake 1 and 2 now.
I think I played Control back in the day, so.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't own it, but I think I have played it. So yeah,
I should. in hindsight, defend myself. I don't actually have 221 games played. I own them, but I used to pick up Humble Bundles fairly often. Before Humble Bundle got bought out and the bundles became less good.
I that's how I have a few of the series I have is because of similar things. Like they all went together as a series bundle that was really good. So I've
Do
yeah
you,
I like I said I think I have at least one of every one of these genres in my library as well, and like there's a lot of games here that were just moving from when I had consoles to my PC too. I'll say one thing that would make getting through my list on here a heck of a lot easier. Uh, like my wish list, my actual library, and just backlog of games and everything is because I'm constantly on the go because of you know taking care of my family and the things that I have to do, and I'm constantly moving
Mhm.
about. Bro, a Steam Deck would do wonders
Yeah, it
to
really
my
would.
completion rate of this wish list of my library of all of that.
I think I think it's a Steam Deck. As long as you don't go for like the brand new OLED version, it's only like $350.
Yeah, it's 350 for I think the 256 gigabyte, not OLED but LCD or LED, whatever it is.
Dollar, do not say that. Fucking Matt's collection brain will kick in. He's like, I gotta get the OLED edition as well just to collect
No,
it.
no, no, stop that. I'm not that bad.
Can you
Oh
imagine?
god.
I'm not that bad. Um, I considered it because I'm like, I don't really need the bigger screen, or the fancier screen. I was just
No,
like
you just need something to
yeah, I just need
portable with
something.
you.
Yeah, I just need something so I can play the game's portable. So I'm like, that's not a.
That's why the PSP was so fucking good.
I'm like 256 gigabytes or whatever it was. It's something like that. That's enough that at the very least I could have you know 3 or 4 games at a time on it, like bigger games on it at a time. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like that's probably not a bad idea. I'm assuming the specs between the two is outside of the screens is no different, so it can run everything the same. I'd have to look that
Yeah,
up.
I think you need to stop aiming for buying video games and start aiming for buying a Steam Deck, then go back to wanting to go buy video games.
I've been heavily considering it, especially because
I've heard nothing but good things about Steam Deck, so might as
I've heard nothing
well.
but good things about the Steam Decks, and I've wanted one since they
Agreed.
announced them.
Yeah.
Um,
There was a portion of me that upon hearing that I had to go on a trip did consider, well, I mean, what if I got a deck?
I,
That's
Yeah,
that's a
that's true. Yeah.
reasonable travel purchase, right?
that's a
It's not
reasonable.
covered by my taxes though, so
Yeah,
Ooh.
I like
Unlucky.
the last week and a half, 2 weeks. My sister and her family just moved into a new place down the road. Um, and so we've been spending a lot of time at my sister's house because it's bigger than our house, so there's more room for all of us to hang out. So it's really nice being able to sit with family, and it's been good, for my family and whatnot. So I've been enjoying that. But but every time I'm sitting down there, I'm just kind of sitting there screwing around with my nephew, or playing with his kid, keeping him entertained. And I'm just like, but in the times I'm not doing anything, I'm like, man, I want to play a game. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
you're
don't want
just
to.
twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah, but I don't want to leave all of this because this is very fun harassing my siblings and my nieces and nephews, and
Yeah.
just seeing my family in a good mood and stuff. And I'm like, man, this is great. I don't want to leave this. I really want to play games. And I'm so like, I was just like, yesterday when I was over there for a few hours, I was sitting there like on my phone looking at Steam Decks. Like, bro, I think I just need to get one of these. Like, I know I need to like upgrade my PC rig like soon ish. Um, but I'm like, maybe I should take the like $300 before putting up for that new PC and just grab a Steam Deck.
I mean, if you're not hurting to play video games on your PC, you might as well.
I'm not hurting, but it's starting to become apparent that my PC is getting outdated.
Right.
So I'm just or like parts of my PCs is getting outdated. So I'm just like,
A word of warning about this, because of the way you're talking about it. A lot of games, when they launch, are not fully compatible with the Steam Deck.
That is true.
yeah,
They get there. Some don't, but most get there.
Mhm.
But sometimes they have issues at launch, and sometimes those issues go on for a little while.
yes, I know this, but it's like, and that's why I'm like, should I just focus on building my new PC, or should I go ahead and
That would be my recommendation to you. Is finish your PC,
Mhm.
Well,
then
I
consider.
haven't started, so it would be having to do everything for my PC, which could take a while, or just pick up the Steam Deck and have that, so I can at least, when I'm not at my computer, doing work, like I'm running people to doctor's appointments or having to help
Mhm.
my siblings or whatever I have to do. If I'm not home, I can still work on this backlog. So it wouldn't let me, tackle the newest games, but I could tackle, I mean, think about how many games on here are older games, honestly. So,
Mm-hmm. That's
Uh,
fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's because since in the current lifestyle you are living right now, I think having something portable will help you at least in the moment.
yeah, I'm going back and forth on it. It's hard to decide.
Hey, just ask the exact same question to everyone else because you don't need you don't need just us our two opinions. You can ask, you know, more
Yeah,
people, more
yeah.
friends.
I got a. I'm sure there's a lot of people who will give me opinions. A few of my friends listen to our cast, so maybe they will message me with their thoughts when they hear this
Hey,
episode. Because yeah, and then also, uh, who knows? My family might decide to do something nice for me for my birthday.
oh my god.
So maybe my sisters and parents will be like, let's do something nice for Matt for his birthday and just
Yeah,
pick me up a Steam Deck.
that would be
I'm
nice.
not
Yeah.
I'm not totally dropping that hint to them as we speak. Like I've been the last couple days I've just been like, sister who, loves me so much. It's my birthday soon and I've been hanging out at your place a lot. It'd be nice if I could play some games while we're hanging out.
Yeah, there's
Nudge
this
nudge, look at
OLED screen
this
Steam
really
Deck.
cool thing. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible brother.
Ah.
No, it was yesterday. Like it was amusing because my sister was playing like Minecraft on the TV in their living room while we
Mhm.
were all in there hanging out, and she walked away, and my nephew took the controller, and he just screwed around and built this giant like he built like a giant middle finger essentially. It's like on top of her house. And when she came back, she just saw this just on top of her house, and then she was like chasing him around their house with her like shoe, trying to beat him. And it was fun. So it's just like I enjoyed the family time. So it's just like, man, I would enjoy the ability to just be able to play a game of my own and while I'm there hanging out as well. So
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
I do need the new PC, not just because new games work, things like that.
Yeah, exactly
there's
right.
there's pros and cons to both. We'll see what happens, but our listeners can hear the verdict on that at a later date because I'm sure it'll come up again at some point. Trust me, when I get a Steam Deck, it'll be mentioned on this cast because I'll be like,
Oh,
man, I'm
oh
playing on my
yeah.
Steam Deck.
He'll be recording and playing on the Steam Deck at the same time. You
it's
can hear him
that's
press the
actually a
buttons.
possibility. That's
Oh
actually a
my.
possibility.
No, I will absolutely disallow you all to do that. It's madness when
Yeah,
when
don't.
Nat listens to music and his mic picks it up. No, 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 no. None of that.
Okay, well, that's my Steam wish list, guys. Any closing thoughts y'all want to throw in there?
Happy birthday, dumbass.
Yeah, happy birthday. Um, Get. Wait, do you have Dissidia NT on your
No.
Steam? No.
No.
Don't.
No.
But I want friends to play
It's
it
not
with.
worth it.
Wait, is it?
No.
not-
It's free.
Oh, it is free, yeah. And it's still not worth it.
Not worth it.
It's still not worth it.
Look,
We all
you say
know
it's
it.
free like you're not still having to invest your time. It's not worth it.
Yeah. But yeah, happy birthday. Hope you have a good one.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And
Hell yeah.
I hope that I do get to hang out with my awesome friends like you guys on my birthday, because that would make it a good birthday. So
Hell yeah.
appreciate you both. And I do appreciate all of you listeners for hanging out as well. And let me know your thoughts about my Steam wish list. Feel free to roast me. Go ahead. You can tell me I have terrible taste. It's fine. I know. I have accepted this a long time ago. But yeah,
It's not
let me
that
know.
bad.
Let me know your thoughts.
You're not allowed to call it bad if you have everything on your wish list. It's just what it is.
This is how I get around it being bad. I just add everything.
it's by default good now.
Yeah.
I cheated.
Yep.
I found the cheat code.
Yeah, just have 300 games on your fucking wish list. See, my list isn't bad. It's good.
Easy. I think it comes down to the number of good games versus bad games, though, is how you really decide.
Yeah.
But let me know your thoughts on the wish list. Let me know, do you have a massive Steam wish list? Does your Steam wish list beat my over 300 games? Yeah. If somebody out there beats me, I'm sure there's somebody.
Oh, that absolutely is.
Let me know. I'd love to know. As always, you are all appreciated. You can let us know your thoughts and all that in the comments, YouTube, Spotify. You can tweet at us over on Twitter. We are at Celestia Radio PD, and you can use the hashtag AskCRP for your thoughts and questions and topic ideas. And if we see them, we like them, we can use them, and we might. So, as always, you're appreciated. We love you all, dear listeners, so much. We're coming up on a year, very close to a year. So,
Yeah.
thank you all, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Take care, everyone.
Be good now.